it is what it is, and I don't think the American people that support Trump would even give a damn about that to begin with. Okay, so we actually are now ready to go. Let me turn my news down here and go ahead and start the live momentarily in 3, 2, 1. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Good evening, all of you folks. I see in the comments, liberty or death says put on that hat, Tim. Well, when you tell me to put on the hat, you're probably talking about putting on a red hat. We keep red hats around here, so I'm going to ask you, when you say to put on the red hat, is this the hat you're telling me to put on? You want me to put on a red hat? We happen to have a few red hats around here. Is this the one you're telling me to put on? Let me know. If that is not the hat you're asking me to put on, I'll go ahead and, there we go, mirroring my video. I can put this one down. Is this the one you want me to put on? Or is it this one? How about that one? Is that the one you're telling me to put on? Let me know what hat I need to wear. Because we got a lot of red hats around here, if you know what I mean. We got more red hats than the Cincinnati Reds. Anyhow, getting the program going. As always, we are indeed MAGA friendly. We don't block, ban, or censor anybody in the comments. So you know what we're going to be doing here. Going to be asking, we're 4 weeks in. We are a little bit more than 4 weeks in now with the Trump administration. I guess the simple question would be, are you happy? Are you happy? Do you believe Trump is doing a good job so far in? I mean, 4 weeks is not a lot of time, but he has accomplished a lot in only 4 weeks' time. Now, we can argue whether whether what he accomplished is good or bad, but regardless of how you come out on it, he has done a lot in a short period of time. So, as you see on the monitor behind me, we got a picture of Trump versus Kamala, even though Kamala has long been put to the ash heap of presidential history. I want to ask you folks, do you think Kamala would have been a better choice up to this point, or do you believe Trump would have done exactly what we expected, which is, kick their ass, so to speak? Let's imagine Kamala Harris 4+ weeks into her presidency right now. What are the differences you think? Now, there are things that people view that has happened that are good from the Trump presidency, things that are bad. I'm going to tell you right off, like for instance, today, American Mark Fogel, who had been held as a prisoner in Russia since August of 2021, was just released. He was caught with 0.6 grams of marijuana on him. Apparently it was medicinal marijuana. I don't think that obviously doesn't matter in Russia, whether it's medicinal or not. They don't even honor that shit, but he was caught with 0.6 grams of medicinal ounces. No, I believe it was 0.6 ounces. 0.6 ounces of, less than an ounce of medicinal marijuana. They gave him 14 years in prison for that. Trump had him released today. So he's been in there since August 21st, or August 2021 rather. Trump had him released, I believe, yesterday. When I'm comparing Trump to Kamala, I'm asking, do you think if Kamala Harris was president, Mark Fogel would be home right now? We're comparing Trump to Kamala Harris, good versus bad. If Kamala Harris was our president, would Mark Fogel be home today? Do you value getting that hostage released at all anyway? Because he certainly was a hostage. That's not January 6th. He's a real hostage. I mean, they gave him 14 years for a little bit of personal use marijuana. He's a real hostage. He didn't bust out any windows or threaten to kill the vice president. So, right off the bat, do you think that Kamala Harris would have got him released? In addition to that, Trump has been gung-ho on securing the border, which is what a lot of Americans wanted. A lot of Americans, even some liberals, totally independents. Lots of independents voted to secure the border. I'm going to ask you folks right off the bat, do you believe that if Kamala Harris was in there, we would have a secure border by now? Now remember, everything Trump has done hasn't been good, but I'm giving you some of what might be up to the first 4 weeks among the greatest hits. Also, he's now spoken with both Putin, Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky of the Ukraine, suggesting that they both want peace, and we're on the cusp of getting that. Do you think that would have happened if Kamala Harris was in office? Do you think she would have been speaking with Vladimir Putin and Zelensky simultaneously and helping wind this war down? Currently, we know the war in Gaza between Israelis and the Palestinians, or they want to say Hamas, but really it's Palestinians as well. That war is temporarily paused right now. Trump is making threats to start it up again. But once again, it is currently at a ceasefire mode. Do you believe that would be that way if Kamala Harris was president? Do you believe right now the Israelis and the Palestinians would be at a temporary ceasefire if Kamala Harris was president? So, and before we move it on, I mentioned Mark Fogel, the Russian hostage, Russian prisoner that was released. Well, we also got a bunch of them back from Hamas as well. A lot of hostages, we got some of them back from there as well. So did the Israelis. Do you think that would have happened if Kamala Harris was president? So we're going to talk about all that. I'm asking the simple question is, do you believe America made the right decision picking Trump instead of Kamala Harris? Now that you got at least a month to go with. We can go deep into Elon Musk as well, because Elon Musk is kind of like a moon orbiting around the main planet. In fact, he might be almost the same size as the main planet, because he got a hell of amount of gravitational pull to him as well. I don't know what happened to JD Vance. He pretty much is fizzed out, but I want to certainly ask you folks, do you feel that we made the right decision? If so, why? If not, why? Because there are some negatives. There are plenty of negatives that are going to be mentioned with the Trump administration as well. So that is our topic today. I believe there's something else I wanted to discuss with you, but it will come up in time. As always, start out by tapping the screen. I don't know why they got some kind of limitation on what I've said so far on TikTok, but the censorship is off the chain. Look it in the comments. 290 million reasons why. I'd like to know what you mean by that. In the comments, someone said, Angela said 290 million reasons why. 290 million reasons why you feel what way. Let me know. And continuing on, Will G says Trump ain't shit, downplaying Ukraine. Well, he was asked, does he view the Ukrainians and the Russians as equals? He said it's an interesting question. He never answered the question. He indicated that the Ukrainians need to seek peace. I guess suggesting that, look, if you don't seek peace, you're going to get wiped out. That's what he didn't answer the question on whether they were equal or not. So going to the box, thank God for President Trump, says, I can't pronounce the name of the story, something like that. Going to the box. Now I got it. Is this who I think this is? Because if it is, I'm excited. Mr. Greenland, good evening.
Hi.
Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, but you definitely are a topic of discussion tonight.
Yes, I've been waiting, just listening for you and people around news. This is insane what's going on.
Now, I know you were certainly not hoping for Trump to win, but now that he is our president, how you guys in Greenland doing? You ready to sell out? You ready to become a true blue American citizen?
No way. For your system? No way.
So what is it about America that you Greenlanders do not like?
People here, I've been talking to a lot of people are saying now, U.S. is third world country with money.
Damn! They view America as a third world country with money. You know, in the hood, we got a saying, it may not translate over there, but we call it broke Negroes with money over here in the hood. You say America is viewed as a third world country with money. Wow. So what is that based on? I'd be curious for you to elaborate on that.
You don't help your weak people in Greenland, we do not have any homeless people.
Mm.
Anybody who needs a roof gets a roof. Social security net is working here.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta agree with you, and I think most folks would agree as well. We do not help the downtrodden in America. We view that as socialism, and you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps. If you don't have boots, you need to figure out how to get a pair. But America does operate under the motto of "Don't ask me for shit." So you guys view that as rich people living in a third world country. Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, and for the topic you were talking about, I'm sure Kamala would have done much better, respectfully.
Well, I mean, some folks view what Trump is doing in regards to saving the U.S. taxpayers' money as very positive. I mean, he's also working with Russia and Ukraine to end that war. Are those not good things?
I think he's trying to do something to keep his word, but nobody in the world will really listen to him.
Well, I don't know. Like you said, we do have a lot of money, so money does speak, and we also have we have the most powerful military. So, and Trump has made it clear he will play games with both the money and the military to get your attention. So, I don't know. I mean, have you guys heard about what we got planned in store for Gaza?
Yeah, that's insane. You just cannot move all the millions of people there to somewhere else just to build your vacation hotspot.
Yeah. Do we make the news often over there in Greenland?
Yes.
Well,
but as you know, I usually follow the news in US.
Okay, so you actually watch our news.
Yeah.
Okay. But what do you guys have, a prime minister? What is the leader of your country called? It's not called president, is it?
Yeah, prime minister.
Prime minister. So what did the prime minister, how did he view a re-election of Trump? Did he release any statements in relation to us offering to purchase Greenland or saying that we need it?
Well, we try to be adults here, so our prime minister say we are welcome US to business opportunities and work together for the future, for the better future, but Trump is not listening.
Mm. Now, you guys have some resources, I believe we kind of want. Is it lithium? What do you have up there that is, now that the environment is melting some of the frozen surface, that you can get access to? What is it up there that we apparently want?
Well, we have the world's largest rare ore minerals in South Greenland, which can be opened quite quickly. But in Greenland, it's a sensitive subject because that ore includes a little bit of uranium. And in Greenland, we do not want the uranium dug up.
Okay, and we apparently want it.
Yeah.
It makes for good, I believe it makes for good nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Maybe Greenland needs nuclear weapons.
Wow.
Just to protect ourselves.
From who?
From you.
You don't really think that America would be would possibly consider using military, military Greenland? Do you?
America needs to only send one ship. That's it.
Yeah.
We cannot defend against it.
Wow.
Except we're part of NATO, so we will get the help from NATO if that happens.
How are your citizens? I mean, do you guys actually fear that the United States may use this military against you?
Yes, we are.
Are you doing anything to potentially prepare for that?
Our parliament we're getting a new election right here. So our parliament is seeking help from Europe.
Wow. Now you guys are.
And France has promised to send some military if that happens.
Yeah. Now you guys are part of Denmark, am I correct?
Yeah, we're part of Danish kingdom.
What are they saying? I mean, because obviously they can't protect you, but are they giving you any type of reassurance in this matter?
Denmark has promised three more ships to protect Greenland.
I don't want to laugh because this is real people's lives at stake. But I mean, when you guys heard that we're talking about keeping Gaza, I'm sure that didn't reassure you at all.
The Middle East is a very, very complicated place, and it's not. Nobody can fix it for 2,000 years, so it's not going to be fixed in one term of presidency.
Would any of you consider, I mean, I hate to say something like this, but after seeing the Palestinians being told to leave their homeland or whatever, have any of you folks thought about leaving Greenland at all?
No, we will not leave our country.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I hate to have to even ask that question, but I mean, as you rightfully admitted, if the U.S. wanted your country, you wouldn't be able to stop them. So, I mean, that would mean a large-scale loss of lives.
Yeah, large scale. We are only 56,000 people, and it would not take too much of U.S. military to stop us or wipe us out, but I think that would be insane to do that.
Wow. Has any of the, I mean, have you guys had any meetings maybe that the United States were not part of to discuss, listen, we may have a crazy guy in the United States, even though they're an ally, now that they may have a crazy guy at the helm, we need to all get together and start considering some alternatives. Have they had any meetings that maybe the United States was not involved in?
Yeah, as I said, France and Germany has promised military help if U.S. attacks Greenland.
Oh, they promised to help you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to kick their ass. What? I'm just playing. But wow, I'm just joking. This is a serious matter, but I did not know that. Wow. Okay. I mean, because... go ahead.
Yeah, and I think if U.S. attacks, all hell will break around the world.
Yeah,
it's a
you know something, I totally agree with you, and I think there would be a lot of people in this country, including myself, even though I'm making jokes here. I would say, you know, I don't want innocent people to simply be conquered or colonized, because that's what this would amount to is colonization of your country, and it would be at the oppression of your people and your resources. So I think you would get a lot of sympathy from Europeans, certainly from in our own country, but I don't know if we would be at power to stop it, though.
Yeah, I think our government is also working on to get help from Asian countries.
Oh, wow. China?
Japan.
Japan. Wow.
But I think for sure North Korea would help us.
Well, they're already helping Russia. So, I mean, but Trump getting involved, I guess we know that Putin and Kim Jong-un of Russia are allies with each other because they have teamed up to fight the Ukrainians. So if Trump is somewhat on a good relationship with Putin, I think that could trickle down to North Korea staying out of it. I don't think they would help you. If we were dealing with Greenland and North Korea was trying to help you guys, we have a relationship that is now improving with Vladimir Putin, who is an ally to North Korea. And my guess is Trump would go through Putin to get North Korea to calm down. They probably wouldn't. I would tell you, don't be for certain they're going to help.
In Greenland, we see Trump as Putin's puppet.
And yeah, you guys are probably not the only one to see it that way. But let me ask you this question: Do you, because you know we change presidents every 4 years, do you see this as only an issue you got to worry about for the next 4 years?
Oh yeah, for sure. By the next Congress election, Trump power will decrease. A lot of people has regretted their vote for Trump.
So you guys are anticipating that he will not win the next election. You don't see him as being a dictator or trying to stay. You're hoping that he's only in there for 4 years and people are overwhelmed or outraged rather, and they just get rid of him.
Well, he's working on to become dictator as fast as he can before the next election.
Oh. Well, we do have a midterm, so in 2 years we can't get rid of the current president or whoever will be in office, but we can weaken them by getting rid of the House and Senate that they may have control of.
Yeah, you have a special election happening in 3 months or 2 months.
In 2 years.
How about special elections? I was watching some of the news. There's a special election for 3 people for Congress.
Okay.
Democrats are hoping to get those 3 seats, so that will be it.
Okay. So okay. I see what you're saying now. Well, all I can say is I'm hoping the best for you folks. I don't believe we should be taking other people's countries or other people's land. It looks like we might just do that to Gaza. He has kind of relaxed on taking Greenland. I think the Panama Canal is still on the table. I'm hoping we don't do all of this stuff, but I can only sympathize with you guys are going with. What time is it there before I move it on? What time is it there over there?
It's almost 1 o'clock.
Now, you're in the period of time where the sun doesn't rise over there now, right?
It raised 13th of January, but it's still low in the sky.
So you don't get a full sunrise?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay. All right, I didn't know that. Okay, so you do have daylight then. I thought you guys were further up north maybe then.
Yeah, it's everybody thinks when the sun is down, it's totally darkness, but we have snow, and with full moon, it's almost daylight.
Okay. How long is it, like during the day, how long is it light for?
About 6 hours.
Okay, all right.
In the most darkest winters, we have daylight about 6 hours, and it slowly goes down and up.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess that's a little bit better than I thought. Well, Mr. Greenland, good to hear from you again. Certainly don't be a stranger because you guys are in the news now. My door is always open to you. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, and I think half of viewers would help us.
I can listen. I can vote. I can protest, but I mean, I don't know. The powers are not on our side if he wants to take your country. Hopefully, our powers grow because I don't think it's right. I don't. You guys haven't done anything wrong other than we just see value in your country and we want to take it. I don't back that at all. I don't back it at all.
What? Yeah, for us in our culture, entire culture, we never owned land because land is for everybody to use. And for owning land, it's so foreign to us. It's difficult to even think about owning land.
Yeah, last time we met people that talk like that, we put them on a reservation. I got to move it on, though, man. Thank you for coming through.
All right.
Appreciate it. Yeah, he's sounding like the Native Americans with that. You know what happened to them? They had the same mindset about you don't own the land is nature and it's there for the people and the animals to use. But in America, we do believe in ownership of land. And yeah, he sounds just like the Native American sounded. And hopefully he does not have the same experience. Look it in the comments to it. By the way, folks, tap the screen. Good to talk to Mr. Greenland, somebody that's over there actually in the theater. Real quick, looking in the comments, I did want to respond to a super chat that I missed there. The Department of Justice filed charges against New York City. That's why. You know, oddly enough, and I'm going to say this, and maybe some of you folks will agree, maybe some of you folks will disagree, but the mayor of New York, who was facing a host of indictments himself, getting this insane partial pardon from Trump. I say partial because it's a temporary pardon and it's writ up in a way that after the election, if they want, they can bring the charges back against. Now, this mayor, the mayor of New York, all of a sudden started being real interested in turning his city away from being a sanctuary city and securing the border and getting all the illegal immigrants out, going down to visit Trump in Mar-a-Lago. He started suddenly seeing all of the hopes and promises of the Trump agenda. And boom, now he's gotten a pardon all of a sudden. I was going to tell you guys, based on what I'm looking at here, it's hard to imagine this not being corrupt. We can talk about Hunter Biden getting a pardon or whatever the hell else, but the pardon for the New York mayor, who's a Democrat, by the way, he's definitely a true blue liberal. But that pardon definitely seems like it's corrupt. It definitely seems like a measure of quid pro quo to help get all of the immigrants out of New York. He went down to President Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago before Trump was president, I believe. Made some promises. I'm speculating here, but this is what it appears to be. Made some promises to President Trump, and President Trump apparently made a promise to him. He went back to New York and started working diligently to get out the illegal immigrants in his city, cooperating with the authorities, and all of a sudden now he is receiving some kind of a pardon. That is definition of a quid pro quo. If I'm correct, I'm speculating, but it looks like it is. Anyhow, looking in the comments, I know the Canadian in the oil fields I worked with liked Trump and were happy and were not happy with Canada. You ever heard of the phrase, if you don't like this country, leave? You're working with a Canadian. Hey, if you don't like Canada, why don't you move to America? Ain't that what we would tell him if he lived here? Going to the box, continuing on. Top Dog, one of my subscribers. Good evening, Top Dog. Welcome to the program. You met a Canadian that don't like Canada and likes the American president. Wow, that sounds almost treasonous. Top Dog, good evening.
What's going on, Tim? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. What do you think? You think America's still happy with their choice?
If you pro-Trump, you are. But if you went for the other side, and no, not at all. I mean, everything that the Democrats were saying that he was going to do, he's doing it.
But what about the things he's done that the Democrats did not predict? He's gotten a Russian prisoner brought home. That the guy got a 14-year sentence. Oh, just ridiculous. Made an example out of the guy. Trump has brought him home. You think Kamala Harris would have had him home by now?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, probably faster, Tim. Yeah. Yeah.
You really think so?
Yes. I mean, and, I'm glad that Trump got the hostage home, but we got other things to worry about right now. I thought we was gonna get egg prices and food, everything down. But
wait a minute. You believe that Kamala Harris would have negotiated a deal with Vladimir Putin and brought that guy home?
No, I'm bullshitting with I'm bullshitting on that one.
Okay. What about securing the border? We voted on that just like with the price of eggs and the economy. We were gung-ho about securing the border. You think Kamala Harris would have done a good job there?
She would have did okay at the border. I'm not going to say she would have been as harsh as Trump and his administration doing. Definitely not.
What do you mean by harsh?
Going around snatching them up, getting them up out of here.
So she didn't go around and, as you say, snatch them up and get them up out of here, then they would still be here, right?
Some would be, yes.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like she's securing the border.
I mean, but they're already here. So, you can send them back, but securing the border and sending them back is two different things, Stan.
How do you send them back if you don't round them up?
Well, you got to round them up. But like I said, some of them, like the people that had like a temporary visa, he canceled all that on them. Those people that voted for Trump, they voted for Trump. And they had a temporary visa, a work visa, where they still can work and pay taxes and vote in America. Right. All those people, he canceled those people out.
Yeah. Well, he may have, I get your point, he probably sent home more people than he should have, I think is what you're trying to say. Some folks came the legal way and he sent them home too.
Exactly. So,
And all the people he's sending home is people that's going to South America, Haiti, you know, people of, once again, people of color. You know, you're not giving them no chances. You know, so.
Well, from what I hear, he's offering the oppressed people in South Africa a chance to come here.
Yeah, but they're white tea people though. He's not doing that with the dark skinned people coming from Africa. I bet you that.
That's a good point. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something interesting to look into. If you are black and you are in South Africa, does his invitation extend to you? That's something worth looking into. I haven't, I'm wondering about that now.
Well, we already know how that's gonna go. Probably not.
Well, but then that would make it racist. If you're gonna pick a particular race of people from the same country where we're taking in South African immigrants, but only the white ones. I mean, that would be really racist.
Well, just like I said the other day on your platform, Tim. You know, like Trump, he want to make Canada the 51st state. Well, why we want to make Mexico the 51st state?
I don't have an answer for that.
We know why. We know why.
I don't have an answer for that.
You know.
What are you getting at? What are you getting at?
You know, well, to me, everything that's going on with the Trump administration, he's doing everything to knock down to the minorities right now. Everything he's doing, all this DEI, that's only going to affect the minorities. I got asked my friend that voted for MAG. I said, name one thing that Trump has done to affect the elite white man or the white man? What have he done to affect the white man? And I can't think anything.
When you say affect the white man, you mean negatively?
Yes. Just like how they kicking out DEI, anything that's going against helping minorities, they're kicking it away. They're trying to get rid of it.
So you almost sound like you think he's targeting people of color.
Yes, definitely, yes. Hell yeah, he is. Why? Yeah, he is. He's definitely going against the minorities. Everything he's doing will affect minorities. He's not doing nothing to affect elite white men.
And he had a whole lot of minorities voting for the guy.
Well, he fooled them, Tim. Trump can sell it. He's a salesman. He can sell it. He can make it sound good. That's why a lot of them MAGAs or Trump supporters are having second thoughts right now. You go online, they're coming out slowly. It's only been 30 days.
I haven't seen that. Second thoughts about what?
Well, just like the people that voted for him with the visas. Those were Trump supporters. Those are one right there. They voted for him thinking that they were not going to get touched. And he told them, hey, yeah, you voted for him, but yeah, you got to go too. Yeah.
I guess I have seen some small groups. You're right. Anybody that voted for him based on his immigration promises are probably not happy. There was a small coalition of gays for Trump. I'm 100% sure they're not happy. Obviously in I can't think of the county that was in Dearborn County, Michigan. Yeah, Dearborn County, Michigan. A lot of folks were constantly heckling Biden and Kamala Harris rallies, yelling out free Palestine and things like that. They were pissed off at the Biden administration. A lot of them voted for Trump. I know all of them are unhappy. So, yeah, I guess you're right to some degree. Because anybody who voted for Trump because they didn't think that Biden and Harris were properly handling the war in Gaza, they certainly are not happy with Trump. He's definitely he's going to take all of Gaza. He's going to free the Palestinians, all right. He's going to free them from their homeland.
And what I believe he's going to do it, Tim. I think him and the people from Israel and people surrounding different countries, they're going to put their money together and invest in Gaza. Like you said, it's a 25-mile strip of land right there, beachfront.
But where are the 2 million Palestinians going to go?
Well, what did Trump say? He's going to find other places for them. Actually, he's going to tell them, matter of fact, if they're not in Gaza right now, just stay wherever you're at. Just don't go nowhere. Stay wherever you're at. If you're in Jordan, if you're wherever you're at, just stay. That's what he's going to do. See, what I'm thinking is what they're going to try to do, Tim, like you said, is going to make it like, to me, I'm thinking in my head something like Las Vegas over there. That's what I'm thinking what their mind frame is. Something like a Las Vegas, but maybe on a whole bigger scale. Yeah.
I'm thinking that too, but it's crazy to tell the Palestinians, we're going to make your homeland into a palace and you can't ever come back to it.
I mean, shit, Tim, right now, he got the power right now. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the neighbors around those countries, they have no problem with it.
Would America back that there? You think Americans would back that?
Not the people that went against Trump, but the MAGA supporter. They'll justify why they're doing it. They'll justify it for him, Tim.
What justification do you believe MAGA could offer for taking somebody's homeland, turning it into a palace, and not letting them come back?
Simple. It's better for the country. He'll tell them some bullshit like that. Oh, it's better for the country.
What about the people that live there?
But it's still better for America. Don't worry about it. It's better for America.
Yeah, but what about the people that live there?
It's better for America if we take it over. Hey, he's gonna think we'll spend less money if we just take it over. Then in the long run, they get it back and start some more bullshit. Hamas come back in power, so they pretty much want to wipe that whole country out. What they're gonna do, Tim? It's pretty much like it's over with.
What is this? Some kind of modern day version of Manifest Destiny or something?
Well, they so-called claim changed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Trump, he's doing what a dictator do, take over, land that he can. Where's weak at?
Yeah. I'm really surprised that so many folks are in favor of that as well. Turning the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America, suggesting, well, there's more of America that borders the Gulf of Mexico than Mexico, so it should be the Gulf of America, knowing damn well that a large portion of America that borders the Gulf of Mexico used to be part of Mexico too. So now we didn't just take a large portion of their country, now we're going to take the waterway that bordered it as well.
If everything that Trump was doing, if Kamala was doing everything that Trump doing by taking over Gaza, taking over Greenland, switching the name of the Gulf of Mexico to America, MAGA Republicans would be in an uproar right now. All those politicians, your Lindsey Grahams, all those guys would be there, be on every platform going crazy. Why are we worried about Gaza? Why are we worried about the Gulf of Mexico? Why are we worried about Greenland? So
you see some hypocrisy in that.
Oh, yeah. You know what it is. It's just the fact that he's doing it. Everything that he's doing, that was a Democrat doing it. The right side would be going crazy right now.
So let me ask you this. Let's say Kamala Harris had been victorious in November. What type of America do you see right now 4 weeks in?
I believe he's more of a calm, laid-back America. We wouldn't be in the uproar. Everything's going up right now, Tim. I believe she wouldn't have came out and did things, and they're telling her things are going to go up. They're telling Trump, hey, if you put these tariffs, it's going to hurt America. He's saying, basically, in my mind, fuck what they got to go through. There are people telling him, hey, he even said it already. You're going to hurt for a little while. What?
Yeah, he did.
What the hell?
He did say
we
that.
can vote the prices to go up.
Well, but you're making it sound like economically, Trump doesn't care about the welfare of the people.
No, he don't. He probably don't. He worried about the elite. Like I said, everything he's doing is going to do it for the elite Americans.
Yeah, but if you're saying he only cares about the elite, he certainly didn't win that way. I mean, what did he say? I love the poorly educated. The downtrodden is who voted him in. So if he only cares... Go ahead.
Well, what I believe, Tim, it was people that had so much hatred for Kamala, by her being a black woman. A lot of people didn't, a lot of Hispanics, let's go there, a lot of Hispanics, Latinos, was not for to give their vote to a black woman. No matter what you seen how they went over in arms with Donald Trump. So
you think a lot of it came... You think a lot of it came down to race. So let me ask you, what if Kamala Harris was a white woman? You think she would have had a better chance?
Better, yes, sir. I really do.
Think she would have... Think she could have...
I feel like a lot of Hispanics, they cannot see themselves voting for a black woman. They just could not pull themselves to do it. And, traditionally in America, I'm in Oklahoma, a lot of Hispanics don't date or deal with black women anyway.
Oh, my God. You're in Oklahoma. You are literally in the most red state of all of your counties, every county in that state.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
You're even redder than Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. What is it like living there?
I mean, it's cool, Tim. I don't deal with no racism. I don't deal with, none of that stuff like that. What you would think in a red state. I live in a suburb of Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So, it's cool. I don't deal with the police like that. I don't have no issues like that. No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have too much controversy coming out of that state, do you?
Nah, not too much. Or, they're trying to put the Bibles in schools and things like that.
Yeah, that is controversial, yeah. I actually believe that's going to spread, though. I don't think that now that Trump's in power and the Republicans are in so much control, I don't think your state's going to be the only state that's forcing Bibles in schools.
Well, just like they put the 10 Commandments down in Louisiana,
Right.
go both ways.
And that's in Texas too. I think Louisiana, Texas, I believe Arkansas is doing that, forcing the 10 Commandments. But your school got to read not the damn Bible. Your school's in that state.
Oh yeah, they get the Bibles. Yeah, it passed, and they was trying to buy Trump Bibles.
Yeah, wasn't it your state also that wanted to name a stretch of highway after Trump?
All of it. Hey, they love him down here. Tim, we all read. They love Trump down here.
You think you got any small suburb or county you could name MAGAville that just for the sake of love?
Oklahoma, the whole state, Tim. 77 counties went red.
Damn.
Oh, the whole state.
All right, appreciate it. I got to move it on, but I guess you are in Republican Nation down there. But it sounds like you're doing all right. You seem okay.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it. We're gonna, no matter what happened up there with Trump, we still got to keep breathing, still keep doing what we're doing, feeding our kids and feeding our families. So, I just don't like the fact that shit is just going up. That's my only issue right now.
Right. Cruising down MAGA Highway or Trump Highway soon coming. I mean, if they wanted to name a stretch of road after him, that's probably going to happen.
Right. I mean, right now, Trump got the juice right now. So whatever he want to do, whatever he want to call, shit's gonna go through. All those executive orders that the federal, those federal judges put a hold on. He don't care about that shit, Tim. You know why? Because it's gonna get to the Supreme Court. He might delay it a little bit, but all those federal cases eventually gonna appeal, eventually make it way to the Supreme Court. And that's what matters to him.
And that's like a safety zone.
Oh yeah. I know we're gonna appeal everything until we get up to the Supreme Court.
Wow. All right, you don't paint a good picture at all, but I don't disagree with a lot. Not much of that part of it. I do believe the Supreme Court is in Trump's back pocket, so we'll see, because birthright citizenship was on the line in that. What else has he done that they're saying is unconstitutional? I know birthright citizenship, the federal funding.
Federal funding. It's a couple more things, but those are the main ones for sure.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. Appreciate it, Top Dog. Thank you for coming through.
I holla.
Definitely.
Yes.
And as he said, Trump has the juice now. Kind of remind me of Omar Epps' character in the movie Juice, where he pulls up his hood and walks away after slaying Tupac was knocked off the roof, saying, "You got the juice now." Looking in the comments, though, tap the screen. Get the likes on up. I haven't solicited that. Give me up to about 20,000. We can make that happen. Tap the screen. I'm on the backup platform, so it's a smaller audience here. I like to keep them both moving so that they stay active. So we're on the backup tonight. Tap the screen. Get the likes up. I don't know what I just tapped there, but I don't want to do that. Pac had the juice. But he dropped Pac off the side of a building. And then that's when Omar Epps' character was told, "You got the juice now." This guy got a secret love. This guy got a secretly love Trump. He's just doing this to get views, says Michael Anthony, suggesting that yours truly, your host, I secretly love number 47, and I'm doing this to get views. He's not the only one that says that. But I made it clear. By the way, Mike, appreciate you. You put hat and mustache on both Trump and Kamala Harris with that TikTok content. So when you put the hat and mustache, you went on both of them. He's not the only one that suggested I'm secretly a voter of Trump. I made it clear. I don't think everything Trump is doing is wrong. I mean, certainly freeing Mark Foley from Russia, I think that was a good thing. Now, some could say that the person he traded him for, they're not a fan of, but I'm glad he brought home an American from Russia. I'm certainly favoring most of his border security actions to date. I don't like some of the going in schools and shit like that, but I do believe the border should be secure. We should know who's coming in the damn country. And I believe he would have been stronger on that than Kamala Harris. Taking Gaza is brutal. I'm 1,000% against that. But I don't think everything he's doing is bad, but because I don't think everything he's doing is bad, some folks, that leads them to believe, well, he's probably voting for Trump. I've explained why, why I voted and, who I voted for. I've done it many times. Looking in the comments, though, he still hasn't released his medical records. I cross my fingers daily. Who do you think Trump's going to drop dead? How do you think America would react if all of a sudden the television stations were interrupted and they told you Trump had passed away of a certain, sudden medical ailment, heart attack, stroke, what? How do you think America will react if that happened? Hopefully, you're not wishing for the worst. Oh my God. Jason T says, hope so. Oh my God. Poco Loco says happy. Some of you guys are wishing for the worst to our commander in chief. Mike, good evening. Welcome to the program, Mike.
What's going on?
People are saying that they would be happy if Trump passed away.
I ain't trying to say all that, man.
Crazy.
I don't go that route. That's bad karma.
Yeah, that's real bad karma. That's real bad karma.
That's bad karma. I don't do that. See, Fancy, I'm not as racist as you think I am. Hey, did you see? Sometimes maybe you don't know, so I gotta. So did you see that the State Department approved $7 billion spend for Israel for weapons for Israel? Did you see that?
No.
$7 billion the State Department passed for Israel. Now, Tim, I thought spending and giving aid to foreign countries
I know where you're going
was
with
something
this.
we were trying not to do.
I know where you're going with this. We gonna listen. At the end of the day, you can criticize Trump on that, and that criticism is due. But do you really feel confident that if Biden was in office, that $7 billion wouldn't still be going to Israel?
No, it wasn't an issue I would have had. Frankly, I wasn't crying about spending.
Okay. Oh, I get your point. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't crying about spending. It was the whole campaign was right. Everybody that's come on your platform is why is money going over to Ukraine? America first. Why are we spending all the tax dollars? That's what they were saying. And the State Department just announces a $500 billion plus arms sales to Israel.
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
No, I had not heard that, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna.
Of course.
This is why when Trump started talking about Gaza is uninhabitable and they shouldn't want to go back there, and he's going to build them a beautiful stretch of land and they should be happy with it. And I get all my MAGA folks saying, look, he's doing something good. I'm like, why the hell would they trust this dude? I mean, or any American leader for that matter, not just bashing Trump. Why would the Palestinians trust anybody in America? You're on television with Netanyahu stating that Trump is the best friend Israel's ever had right after they don't bomb you to the Stone Age. Why would any American trust that Trump is going to put them up somewhere that's better? I mean, that's just insane because a lot of MAGA believes that what he is doing is so great and the Palestinian people should be happy because their homeland is wasted. They shouldn't want to come back there anyway. He don't have nothing good in store for those Palestinian people. He just want the land. Wherever they go, they go. He don't give a shit. Once they out of there, he don't give a shit what happens to them.
He doesn't. Listen, Tim, of course, everything you said is 100%. His supporters, if they don't know that, they don't want to.
They know it. It's just not kosher to admit it.
Exactly. Fancy. Every time you say something fancy, you just don't want to admit it. Because you and I went back and forth in the comments, Fancy, about foreign aid spending months ago. And this was we need to stop spending there. We need to be spending America first.
Did you see what she just typed in, though? Oh, my God.
Hey, at the end of the day, look, let them listen. And listen. So what is that? Again, Tim, sometimes when they keep talking, they show their true colors. Why would you be okay with anybody, sleeping on the ground? Your humanity is shit. That's exactly.
Well, you can't complain. You can't complain that they lack humanity when they're judging somebody that they don't view as human.
Right. Well again, yes, 100%. But they make excuses for it. Has been my argument. They make excuses for it. Stop. Just say it with your chest. You don't care about nobody but this orange, peach, mango, moscato looking motherfucker. That's all. Just say it. But he doesn't care about you. Let me, Tim. Did you see Elon in the Oval Office? Right.
Yes, with his kid, with his son.
Have you ever seen anything? They look like they was at the DMV. What kind of shit was that, man?
I thought he looked like did he not look like President Kennedy with his kid under the desk?
Hey, that was a picture.
Yeah.
But this, you got his son wiping boogers on the desk, and Trump looking at him like he want to kick his ass out of there. It was just, it was.
You know, I disagree with that. I think Trump, in my opinion, I'm speculating, I could be wrong here, but I believe that Trump views Elon Musk as significantly smarter than himself, and he's willing to let Elon Musk speak. If there's one thing we know Trump idolizes, it's money. And nobody has more of that than Elon. I think he's going to view Elon as favorable no matter what Elon does. I mean, at the end of the day, this guy didn't get to this much money doing shit wrong. So I think Trump is going to sit there and listen quietly to Elon on virtually any damn thing.
Did it look presidential to you?
Elon Musk did. Elon Musk did.
No, that's my point. Did it look presidential of Elon standing up over our president? I would say that about anybody that was in the office.
Well, maybe they're doing a tag team thing. We not having this ain't a single match. This is a tag team. You know, like Hulk Hogan goes over and taps Macho Man Randy Savage's hand. They doing the tag team.
What about the State Department have a line item to approve $400 million for Elon Musk armored vehicles? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Well,
what about that spin?
They're not going to end up. That's the problem where I have the issue with Elon Musk. People are celebrating all of the savings he's doing. He's not being candid about his own involvement. I mean, he's also getting money out of this shit. So we don't know if he's saving us money or if he's freeing up money so that it can go more to him.
Did you think that he was going to save us money to begin with, Tim?
I took him at his word.
Yeah. So again, you know what's so funny? And again, I never met you, never sat down and broke bread with you. But it's hard for me to imagine that people would take so many people they don't know at their word when there is no track record that their word has been anything to really significantly sink your teeth into.
I mean, I took Kamala Harris and Biden at their words as well. When Biden was
have their track records?
Huh?
Did they have their track records, Tim?
Kamala Harris? Not that I know of.
Listen. If everyone that's with Trump's organization has history, and you can track it back to not being so good, right? I mean, that's not a stretch. It's not a stretch. Elon
Musk doesn't have a really bad history, though, does he?
Well, it's not great. And if he's gonna associate with him, kind of makes you wonder.
Well, wait a minute though. Other than him joining the Trump outfit, where he's went a little bit far to the right or came out and acknowledged his politics. Remember, when he was just making Teslas, a lot of MAGA and folks on the right were saying he leaned left. So he don't have a whole lot of negative history other than within maybe the last 8 months or so.
If I use conservative, the conservative measuring stick, I'll use that. If I use a conservative measuring stick, both of them, him and Trump, they both have sexual allegations.
Is there a lot of that orbiting around Elon?
Oh, there's a few out there.
Okay.
There's a few out there.
How do you have to?
Women, all these different women, all these different children. I'm using the conservative measuring stick here, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
All these different, right? He's from South Africa. His family was deep into the apartheid. A lot of racism over there in South Africa. His family, that's what he comes from. He comes from money. He comes from money. Trump comes from money. I'll say it again. You keep giving them credit for being less.
Wait. But you don't think Trump is doing anything right at all?
Well, listen. I don't think he's doing anything right for the right. Even if he's doing something that appears right, it's not for the right reasons. You mentioned. I'm gonna go back to you mentioned the American being released from Russia, right?
Is that not a good thing?
At what cost, Tim?
Where would that American be? Where would that American that was being held in Russia be sitting right now if Kamala Harris was president?
We will never know.
You can't speculate?
We will never know.
You can't speculate?
Well, we will never know. I don't know if she would be there or not. Well,
You
hold on.
think President Kamala Harris would have been already on the phone with Putin and have already secured this guy's release in their 4th week? You really think that's possible?
I don't know because hold on, because Biden got somebody released before he left office, didn't he?
Not in his first 4 weeks.
What I said before he left office, because it was actually.
Oh shit, that could be but well maybe Kamala Harris would have got him released by the summer of 2028. Yeah, maybe then.
But again, you're giving him credit, but you don't know what he did and gave up to get him here. That's my point.
Yeah, I get that part.
And all of a sudden, him and Putin are supposed to be talking about a peace agreement with Ukraine.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing?
Okay. At what cost, Tim? See, this is what
You're not giving the man a chance, Mike. I mean, if he's hold on. If he does something, you're just jumping on the side to criticize him. I mean, yeah, there's a cost. I mean, you think the Russians don't want anything at all? Yeah, there's a cost to it, but get a man credit. He's doing something.
I'm jumping on the side. Listen, I'm looking at resume and track record, which everyone seems to start to set aside because he does something that appears to be the right thing. I can't do that. I can't chance him with doing the right thing, Tim, because what he says and what he does and what we know are completely different worlds, Tim.
Do you even give him credit for securing the border?
What did he do?
There's a ton of troops down there. The amount of folks coming across the border is down by like 70-something%. I mean, do you see? I mean, we were having folks coming in the country who we didn't even know who the hell they were or where they were from. Do you think it's good that he stopped that?
Tim, this is my problem with these conversations. Is that a fact or is that a talking point?
That's a fact.
Is that what he said? Hold on. Is that any different than what has been happening at the border for the last 50, 60 years, Tim? Because the law hasn't changed at the border.
That man sends all that personnel down to the military, down to the border rather, and you're telling me you don't think it made a difference from him and Biden?
I don't know. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I told you this before, and I'm gonna tell you this again. I told you this before. When they were doing the you thought that we got something good with the tariffs with Mexico and Canada, sending 15,000 troops down to the border, right? Or 10,000 troops down to the border, right?
Okay.
They already have 15,000 troops down at the border. Nothing changed.
I don't know. I think you're.
Nothing changed. Everything that was happening already. Nothing changed. It's optics. Listen, while everybody's talking about this stuff, just like I don't believe that you're doing anything right when everything you're doing shows me the opposite. That's all I'm telling you. I can't give him because he's never shown, I told you this, character, integrity, and just because we see him do that doesn't mean that he's not doing something over there.
I hear what you're saying, and I understand why you're saying it. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, Trump's character sucks. But my opinion is, based on what you're saying, you've raised the bar so high on Trump that I don't think he can do anything good in your eyes. I mean, you
haven't raised the. Listen, I'm grading him on the bar he set. He's the one. His camera's the one that was talking about we weren't America first, not spending any more foreign money, bringing money back here. They were talking that. So when I tell you they just signed $7 billion for the State Department for Israel, that goes completely against what he's.
Yeah, but when you start talking about, I asked you about him bringing home somebody who was literally rotting in a Russian prison, and your first thought is, well, what do we give for the person? Was he doing it for other than? I mean, you're not even giving him credit for what he did. You're looking for negative stuff.
I'm not looking for anything. I'm saying at what cost, because his track record says that there's something else. Just like there wasn't Project 2025, and there was. Just like we're not going to be banning. They were trying to draft a federal ban on ABs now. They said they weren't going to do that, didn't they?
Yeah. I don't listen.
Did they or did they not say that?
Yeah, they did, and I've been hammered by a lot of MAGA for saying that. I know for a fact that a federal abortion ban is coming down the pipe, and they've been telling me I'm fear mongering from day one. I still said I know that's coming.
Okay, so why, with everything I can point to that they said one thing and doing another, why would I not be skeptical of you doing something that there's not something else going on? That's all I'm saying.
All right, I don't totally disagree. I don't
Yeah,
totally disagree with that.
So listen, I'm not saying that this man being back on American soil isn't good. I'm saying at what cost, and we don't know yet. We don't know what conversation he had. He's literally trying to tell Egypt and Jordan, you're gonna take these people, so we can take over this land. Where was that in the campaign? So you got one person home, but you're trying to displace 2 million. At what cost is this make sense to people? At what cost? That's all I'm saying. So I can't judge the bar because the bar keeps getting moved, and who is it hurting in the process?
Yeah.
Listen, we're not even gonna be able to rely on the reports and the data anymore, Tim.
I don't really rely on it now, to be honest with you. We know it's biased.
That's where we're heading. This Doge, you're finding all of this spending, but I just pointed to you spending. They're trying to find all this spending, but where's 400 million going to armored Teslas? Where was that in the campaign? Did they ever say they were going to be doing that?
No.
Do you think that just happened now? Do you think that just came up now?
No.
Or you think they've been talking about that the whole time?
They've been talking about that the whole time.
So why is my position on bringing one man home and being skeptical of what the hell else is going on an issue? That's all I'm saying.
All right.
None of this was transparent. Do you think he would have won the election if he would have told them we're going to give Israel $7 billion more?
No.
We're going to give exactly. So
I think if we could have all of the voters who voted in the election in November right now be transported back to that time, I think Trump's chances would be far less because he's done a lot of things that he didn't talk about doing, like the Panama Canal in Canada and all this other shit. And there's a lot of folks who voted for Trump that are not hardcore MAGA that wants nothing to do with that stuff. So he has done a lot of things that he did not campaign on. Plus, there are some people who genuinely voted for Trump to bring down the price of eggs and groceries. And obviously, he's not even really talking about that. So, yeah.
What are economists saying today? What are economists saying today about inflation?
It's went up.
And it's going up. And where's the fear? As a matter of fact, and Republicans in Congress and the Senate are getting hammered by their constituents right now. Because when you talk about getting firing federal workers and all of these unions and all of that stuff, they're not just Democrats.
Yeah, he definitely didn't run on destroying the FBI and the CIA and all those agencies. He ran on cleaning them up, not destroying them.
But Project 2025 said they were going to destroy it.
Right, he said he ain't got nothing to do with that. I got to move it on. He said he ain't got nothing to do with that.
So I'll close with this. So with all of that being said, you bring home one person, and I say, well, what cost? What did it cost us to do it? And all that empirical evidence that we just talked about tells me I have a reason to be skeptical.
All right, you made your case. Mike?
Oh, by the way, I heard you on that live earlier today.
Don't bring it up.
I'm not. I'm gonna call you tomorrow, though. I'm not gonna say nothing.
All right, holla. Looking in the comments, by the way, Will G says the kid told Trump he is not the real president. You're telling me that Elon Musk child? I would have loved to see that. That would have been a clip to play back over and over again if that child had really told Trump, "You're not the president of the United States." Dorjam Bennett, thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Dorjam Bennett, appreciate it. Looking in the comments, I appreciate your support there, Dorjam. He says, what did Biden do that was so notable? Don't hold Trump to standards that you won't hold Biden to. That isn't, well, I really can't answer that. What did Biden do that was so notable? I mean, we talk about the CHIPS Act and the infrastructure bill and things like that, but a lot of Americans don't view that as being very notable. In fact, if you ask me, I think the thing that Biden gets the most credit for is getting rid of Trump. After his first term. But looking back historically, no, I don't. I mean, I think if you want, here's one I think that he deserves credit for: the pandemic, because I think Trump failed on the pandemic miserably. I really do think that Trump's handling of the pandemic was awful, and Biden came in there because Trump is the one that brought us Operation Warp Speed. Trump is the one that should be taking credit for the vax, which medical professionals around the world attribute to saving millions of lives. But because of how he did it, he can't take credit for it. You've heard Trump bragging about everything he's done, bragging about crowd size and shit. He don't really brag about saving lives during the pandemic because the way he did it was so horrible. So I will certainly give Biden credit for unifying this nation during the pandemic because Trump had folks thinking you don't really have to listen to what they're telling you. They don't always know what they're talking about. And it's like, this stuff is coming from your administration. Okay, if Dr. Fauci sucks, reallocate him to a different part of the task force and put up somebody else. Go get Ben Carson. Go get somebody that's going to tell the people what you think they should hear. But don't continue to go on television with a guy that you have no confidence in and then ridicule him every night at rallies and then go back on TV with him again in the morning. So what Trump was doing during the pandemic, in my opinion, was terrible. That's about as much of mixed messaging as you can get, where you're going on television, standing side by side with Fauci, while Fauci talks about social distancing and washing groceries or whatever the hell he was telling people to do at the time, wear a mask. You're standing side by side with him. You're not criticizing anything he says. You're not saying he's wrong on anything. You're on TV looking like you're in unison with Fauci. And then after the television conference is over, you go to hold a rally and you're letting everybody yell out, fire Dr. Fauci, and you're sitting there making them think you're going to actually do that. And then tomorrow you're back on TV with him again. He did that for like a month. So I can't give him anything but an F on handling the pandemic. There's no excuse for releasing a mixed message like that. So if I want to give Biden credit for something, it's the handling of the pandemic. Goku. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. I apologize for butchering your name. Who cares what economists think? They got us into this mess in the first place. I don't know. You think the economists caused it? I don't know if that's necessarily true. And even if the economists get us into a mess, they still remain the most qualified to get us out of it. If your doctor gives you, tells you to take some type of medication to get over an ailment, turns out it's wrong, he might say, okay, well, let's try this now. That don't mean you throw the doctor completely out of the works because he didn't give you the right advice in the beginning. He still was highly qualified. So I don't know if I totally agree with that. I want to make sure I didn't miss out on somebody. But yeah, I don't think you throw away the economists. I mean, because they're the ones, to me, in my opinion, they're the most knowledgeable on what's going on. Anyway, we'll go back to the box, continuing on with the program. Travelman, good evening, Travelman. Welcome to the show. Joe won mainly on the way Donald was handling the pandemic. Yeah. Travelman, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
If you had to cite a really good accomplishment of President Biden, what would you give?
Shoot, man, he all those bills that he passed. Infrastructure, the CHIPS Act, the inflation reduction, bringing down the price of, capping the price of insulin.
The insulin one is good. The insulin one I think is good. I like the insulin.
He did a first 2 years they were able to get some bills passed. As far as now, when you ride around the country, don't you see all these roads that got all these cones and all this construction going on? Yeah. That's our infrastructure. It takes time for this stuff to come down. Factories are being built, for chip making and all that stuff that they're actually passed out funds, gave out funds for that. So the man did something. You know what? Man, they have been bashing the man for 4 years like he didn't do anything, like he totally trashed the country, and he didn't.
Well, I'll be honest with you. One of the faults I often cite of Biden is the poor messaging. Whereas if Trump was responsible for roads and stuff being built, he would be on television constantly standing by cones with construction workers. You see how he met the guy, Mark Fogel, the guy who came back from Russia, met him at the airport. That's how you're supposed to do shit.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The messaging, not just Biden, but the Democrats. The message they are terrible at messaging. They cannot stay on point.
They do not, as a whole, keep on the same talking points. They put talking points out just like the Republicans do. The difference is the Republicans stay on that talking point. You can talk to a Republican down in Snatchback, Mississippi, and he will give you the same talking point as a guy up in Michigan. That's what they do. You know. Now Trump, he's a TV guy. Okay.
A really
right
good
now,
one.
We are in the USA reality TV series is what we're in right now. Okay. Every day is something different.
You got to admit he's really good at what he does.
He's a TV guy.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He stages everything.
I mean, to some degree, isn't that why Kennedy won, why Reagan won? I mean, people like...
Yeah, but nobody has went to the degree that this dude has. I mean, he's literally...
Big dog, thank you.
He's literally trying to basically take over the whole country. The dude is in there messing with the Kennedy Center. You know?
What is he doing to the Kennedy?
He fired the board at the Kennedy Center, installed all of his people, and then they voted him to be the chair of the board at the Kennedy Center. Okay? The dude, he's doing all kind of stuff, and he staged all this stuff, and everybody's looking at, he gonna do this in Greenland, he gonna do this over here in Gaza. Meanwhile, they are breaking the government.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, why do conservative Republicans, why do they hate the U.S. government?
They feel, well, I tell you right off the bat, certainly after the last 4 years, they believe Biden used those people to go after Trump.
But they lied.
I'm just telling you why.
False. That's false.
Okay, we can argue whether it's true or not. I'm just simply saying that's why they don't like the U.S. government. And then, of course, we can talk about cities with gun laws and things like that. They don't like the government interfering in their business.
The government, Trump is all up in everybody's business now.
Yeah, but he's doing it the way they like it.
You know, we got a guy who bought the presidency. Okay.
Who was that?
The only reason, you know who it is. The only reason
I gotta play dumb. You can't get away with that. Who bought the presidency?
The only reason Musk is where he's at right now is because he spent $250-300 million directly on Trump's president. Now, let's take a look at something right quick. Back in 2020, for the election of 2020, right?
Okay.
Apparently, a lot of the different counties and stuff, they were having a shortage as far as funds they needed to get the election set up, right?
Okay.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mark Zuckerberg and his wife donated like $300 million, right?
Yep.
That was spread out to all these different counties and different election boards and all of that, right?
And they were buying
Republican, Democrat, right?
Yep.
The Republicans' head exploded.
Yep. And I said that before, that if George Soros or Bill Gates, as you pointed out, if they had did the exact same thing as Elon Musk, got in office and was doing the exact same thing Elon Musk is doing now, trimming fat and cutting waste, they would hate him. They would be talking about taking him out. If he paid to get where he's at, talking about Bill Gates or George Soros, paid to get where he was at, then got in Washington, was making money off of his companies and trimming Republican concerns and agendas all over the country, they would be hating the guy. Guaranteed.
He's where he's at now because he donated he spent $300 million.
He invested. He invested because he's making a lot of money off of that.
That's what it was. It was an investment.
Yeah.
Now, this dude is running amok through the federal government, and what they've done is they have demonized government workers for the last 30 years. Bureaucrats, nameless bureaucrats, nobody voted for them. They have demonized government workers for 30 years. In 1980, it was 2.8 million government workers. The population of the country was about 250 million people. Today, there are 3 million government workers, and the population of the country is 340 million people.
Yeah, but you know there's a whole lot more automation and computers that are helping nowadays than in 1980.
It doesn't matter, bruh.
Yeah, it does.
Wait a minute. You got 3 million people providing services to 340 million people. That's why when you call the IRS, you have to sit on the phone for 3 hours, or you call the Social Security Administration, or in my case, I sent a document to DFAS. I'm retired military. I sent a document to DFAS. They said, check back in 30 days to make sure we got it. Just to make sure they got it.
Damn.
I checked back in 30 days, and then they told me, okay, it'll be, she either said 3 to 4 months or 4 to 5 months before I get a reply. And
wow.
I'm like, why is it taking so long? She said that because we are extremely short-handed. Okay? They constantly have freezes, and people are not being hired. Every government agency is short-handed. So they have demonized these people, right? And so this is what they did. They took, let's go with USAID. Right before they went in there, right off the bat, it's ran by lunatics. They're crooks. They demonized the USAID. Listen to what they were saying. Trump, Musk, all of them. And then they went in there it was like a covert operation. Right?
Okay.
You got 19, 20, 22-year-old people that don't know jack about the government. They don't know anything about the system. Okay? They're basically probably
I don't think they brought in there to know anything about the government. I think they brought in there to pay attention to numbers and computing, and that's it. They've been guided.
So they weren't coming in there to do an audit.
No, they weren't.
They didn't bring forensic people in there. They didn't bring any accountants.
No.
And they're going through all these different agencies, and now, we found this. Okay. We found. And see, this is the thing too. When they mention something, MAGA get a hold of it, and then they just repeat it. Right? $50 million in condoms. That's been debunked.
Yeah, that has been.
Okay. DEI musical in Ireland. Right? DEI project in Serbia. And they say these things, but then they don't give the context. So when you go out and you look, and you will see that some of this stuff wasn't even paid for by USAID. It was funded by the State Department.
Yeah, and that is a problem that I have is that Elon Musk and Trump are claiming that they're saving us a ton of money, but when it comes to showing the receipts, they have yet to do that. They haven't proved what they're saying is actually happening. They're just because, like you mentioned, the condom thing, they can't prove that because it ain't true. So meanwhile, they have bent the farmers over and stuck it to them because you got $300 million worth of farm goods that's either sitting in silos or sitting on ships or waiting to go out, and they couldn't go out. So let me ask you this question: why do the farmers put so much into Trump, and he constantly screwing them over? Because let me make my point. Okay.
Okay, when he put the tariffs on China, we ended up giving the farmers $36 billion or somewhere along there because of that.
Yeah, I can't speak on the numbers.
It's about $36 billion, right? And then they turn around and they voted for him again. If the Democrats did that, they'll swear they were buying votes.
Well, I think, in regards to the farmers, just like I said in the program last night, I don't think it's all economics. When MAGA and when Republicans are judging how well Trump is doing, I know we ran on, he campaigned on reducing the price of eggs, the price at the pump, getting grocery prices down. But I don't think that's what they're actually judging him on. I think that Trump could be president for the next 4 years without groceries coming down at all and still be viewed very successful. In my opinion, what he's getting so much credit for is sticking it to the libs, correcting the LGBTQ gains, securing the border. As long as he's doing that stuff, I don't think they care if they would like a bonus where the price of groceries go down. But as long as you're sticking it to the libs and getting rid of the liberal agenda and how the left was destroying the country, that's good enough. That's good enough. And he's doing a lot of that right now.
But what about the damage they're doing to the country? And the border was secure. I mean, and like I said, we into the USA TV reality show right now because they show They show the immigrants being flown out to somewhere else, you know, and they make it like, oh, this is the first time that we've been doing this. You know, Trump is flying the illegal aliens out. You know, they making it like that. The flights have been going on forever.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they see it that way though. I mean, go ahead.
Well, yeah, and I agree. I agree. Once again, though, it goes back. They are people. They are detached from reality. Okay, they're in this information silo.
Well, you're saying they're detached from reality. You know they're gonna bring up that we can't even identify a woman. They're gonna say we detached too.
You know what that is? You know what that is?
What?
That's a deflection. That's all that is.
But that is true. A lot of liberals do give these weird explanations about the genders. They're gonna bring that up. It's a deflection. I agree, but they're gonna bring it up.
That's a deflection. If somebody asks me what's the definition of a woman, somebody that can give birth, somebody with a uterus. Okay. Now, I can say, get the hell out of my face. You know.
Well, but they did ask.
All they do is deflect.
Yeah,
all they do is deflect.
But they did ask. I believe Natasha Brown Jackson, the African American that Biden appointed to the Supreme Court, she couldn't answer that question.
She shouldn't have answered it. She shouldn't have answered
Why
it.
not?
Because she is qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. Did they ask Amy Coney Barrett that?
No, but I hear your point, but I'm telling you, her not answering that question obviously is part of what they use. That's part of what they use to stick it to the liberals during the November election is that they can't even tell you what a woman is.
Yeah. You know, when we talk, I don't usually curse. You know.
Oh no. What you about to say?
That's total. That is just total bullshit. It's a deflection, and that's what they do. You know, they deflect. You know, every time they, talk about stuff that's relevant. You know, trying to define what a woman. If you don't know what a woman is, then don't ask me. Okay, that's the way I see that.
All right.
That's all they do. They just deflect. My question once again is, why do Republicans hate the U.S. government? They attack the Capitol building. They're going in. They're wreaking havoc on all the government systems. What do they think?
I'm gonna have to get MAGA up here and answer that question. Why does the Republicans hate the U.S. government? I want to hear from them. I'll get somebody on and we'll hear from them. I got to move it on, but now that you brought it up, I do want to hear it.
One quick thing though.
Real quick.
This country, everything don't run by itself.
Great.
Okay.
No disagreement there.
And they're gonna find out what they're not in the Department of Education. They already screwed up USAID. So we don't have any credibility as far as in other countries. China going in with their road and belt program, and they coming in right behind us as we move out.
Well, I'm just telling you, they disagree with you, but I gotta move it on, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on with the program, and I see in the comments, Boo Boo Boss, that's a hell of a name, did not like my last call. It says, great example of a delusional lib, Tim. All right. It wasn't debunked. It is still in Gaza, but the Gaza is in Mozambique. I don't know what that is about. Democrats, 30% approval rating. And Trump is at 53% right now. So, yeah, right now, there's definitely more Americans, at least among the voters, that are happy with Trump than they are with the Democratic Party. I think that right now, until the Democratic Party makes some changes, the Democrats are currently running on the platform of Trump sucks. The Democrats need to come up with policies of their own that America views more favorably. But that is what the Democrats ran on, is that you don't need to elect Trump. He's going to destroy the country. As opposed to, if you elect the Democrats, these are all the great things we're going to do for America. I don't think they got that message out well enough. Meanwhile, Trump was promising the world. He was promising the world to people. Now, Trump was lying on a bunch of stuff, certainly promising to protect LGBTQ rights and all this other stuff that I've played clips of. He wasn't being honest. And he did a good job of being deceptive, if not omitting things he intended to do. He didn't run on taking the Panama Canal, that he's talking about that. He wasn't really talking about purchasing Greenland. the war between Israel and the Palestinians was ongoing, but he never even hinted that he might take over Gaza. I mean, and displace 2 million Palestinians. He didn't run on that shit because I can guarantee you the Muslims for Trump would not exist if he had said something like that. So the Democrats did not have good messaging, and Trump capitalized on not only their lack of messaging, but literally fabricated messaging to fill in the blanks that he never intended to deliver. And I do believe that the suggestion that he has no intentions of implementing Project 2025 is part of that. But looking in the comments, the Panama Canal is for the USA. What you talking about? Well, you sounded like Gary Coleman from Different Strokes. In regards to the Panama is part of the USA, you can have that opinion, but that doesn't take away from what I just said. Jose, or who's that? Somebody just gave me a subscription. Wow. Joan, thank you for the sub. I didn't know you could still do that. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate that. I haven't seen one of those in a while. TikTok been playing games with that. Joan, absolutely. Thank you for subscribing. That means a lot. Thank you, Joan, on TikTok. But yeah, when you say the Panama Canal is for the USA, if you have that opinion, fine. But Trump did not say that when he was campaigning. He wasn't talking about taking over the Panama Canal. All of a sudden he wins and now it belongs to the USA anyway. Why didn't you say that when you was running? Is it possible because you knew that would hurt your campaign? That's all I'm saying. He didn't campaign honestly on some of that stuff. Greenland, 51st state of Canada, he wasn't running on any of that shit. And certainly he ran on draining the swamp and cutting back waste in government. Not destroying it, not telling all of the government workers that they're going to be fired if they don't take all of that shit. I guarantee you there's a whole lot of federal employees that voted for him that are now out of a job or being forced to resign. They wouldn't have voted for him. You think anybody that works for the federal government that's part of these mass terminations that voted for Trump, you think they would have still voted for him? No. So there's a lot of people. I don't think anybody connected with U.S. aid at all would have voted for Trump. And we know some of them did. We know some of them folks that are dealing with U.S. aid and all of its different projects in different areas. Some of them folks are Trump supporters. He wouldn't have gotten anybody connected to U.S. aid to vote for him if he had been honest about what he was going to do. So we can talk about Kamala Harris and Biden, but he was not honest about what he was doing. He just knew how to talk, knew what to say, and knew what not to say. And here we are. Looking in the comments before I go back to the bots, I wanted to find out, why does MAGA hate the government? I don't know if I got any MAGA on hold. I'll continue on. And I do see one of my, by the way, we are also on Instagram. So for my MAGA folks who do not have TikTok, you can call in by going to Instagram Live as well, which we'll go to now. Sherbert on Instagram, if it brings them up. Hopefully it does, which we'll give it a shot. Sherbert, are you there? Yeah, there you go.
Hi, Tim.
Good evening. Welcome to the program.
How are you doing tonight, Tim?
I'm doing good. So you've obviously heard a lot there. What am I getting wrong?
I don't think you're getting a lot wrong. I just think everyone here is kind of idiots when it comes to Trump being in their cult. But I was thinking about something as you were talking earlier.
Sure.
Trump can't wait on anything. So do you remember when he announced his run for presidency while Herschel Walker was trying to get the Senate?
Yes.
And every single person said, don't do it now. Wait 1 week until this election is over, and then we can put all of our energy into it.
I do remember that.
He couldn't even do that. Where right now, he gets in, day one, we're going to take over Panama, Greenland. He couldn't even wait the month to get, his other stupid shit done before going into new wars.
Yeah, but what about the notion that he is so efficient, he just simply moves faster than other politicians? I mean, you think Joe Biden would have been moving this fast, or even Kamala Harris?
No, because it's illegal.
That's a hell of an answer. Okay.
It's pretty clear, Tim. When you do illegal shit, it goes really fast because you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. And it's interesting you would say that, because I said several times when they were still in the running that I believed that Trump would be far better at securing the border than Biden ever could be, or Kamala Harris. And I said for exactly what you said. I said because he'll break the law to secure the border. I mean, he's going to do whatever it takes to secure the border, even if it's not legal. And
just like Greg Abbott and the buoys killing people
yeah,
in the river.
the drowning
Doesn't
machines.
matter if it's illegal.
Yeah, the drowning machines. Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody seems to give a shit. I mean, the whole border situation should be passed by Congress. And we almost had it till Trump said no, and he has not brought up bringing that bill back up. So we're just going to send our military out there. That is a short-term solution.
Yeah.
Everything is short-term. Everything is not looking into that next step. It's always, we got the military there, the border's secure, bye.
Yeah. But you know the thing about it is, I can't hate on Trump for what he's doing because it doesn't seem like anybody's stopping him. I don't know if he went and talked to some overseas leader who told him how to run the game, but he is very effective. Like, for instance, they held up federal funding. A judge ruled that you cannot do that. He essentially has said, fuck the judge, and he's doing it anyway. Who's going to stop him? Because he's in control of the Department of Justice. So if the judge orders that he pay some kind of disciplinary action for not listening to the judge's ruling, he's in control of the people that would enforce that, and he can tell them, stand down.
You're right, Tim. That's why this country is going down. You can't have a country without law and order. And his biggest slogan was law and order for a while and common sense. But when you're doing dumb things, that's not common sense.
Yeah. I heard also that he has, by executive order, halted the production of the penny. Now, we know it costs more money.
I'm in favor of that one.
Huh?
I'm in favor of that one.
Yeah, because it costs more money to make a copper penny than a penny is worth.
When you ask me in 4 years when we say, can you give Trump one good thing that he did? And he got rid of the penny. I'll give him that one.
But the reason I'm bringing that up is that's also required to be done by Congress. And he did it on his own. So,
I can admit that one's also illegal, but I at least agree with that one. I'd love to see that one happen.
Then what makes you any different from MAGA? They agree with some of the illegal stuff you're talking about too, just different things than you.
We're talking about pennies versus Meals on Wheels and veterans benefits being paid out. It's a little different, Tim.
Yes.
Someone shoots you in the chest and someone punches you in the chest. You can be mad at one person more.
Yeah,
you can be mad either way, but one person probably needs to go to jail for a couple of years and one person needs to pay a fine or something.
So then I have to ask, and I see in the comments, Lizard King says caller sucks. You got a detractor out there.
Fuck Lizard King. I don't even know who he is. Fuck that guy.
So
I haven't said anything crazy today.
No, you haven't said.
I haven't even talked about how I'm going to go to the Capitol next in a couple of years when he tries to get a third term. I understand when people hate on me for shit like that.
Yeah.
I haven't said anything. Fuck that guy.
In regards to suggesting that Trump is going to try to get a third term, if you had to, I think I may have asked you this, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being he's going to do it, how likely do you think that is going to happen?
8.5, 9?
You think there's nearly a 90% chance that Trump will try to pursue a third term?
Have you seen him ever not try and take power?
90%? That's frightening.
85, 90.
You ain't making no better by going down to 85.
That's why I'm terrified, Tim. That's why a lot of these people are terrified.
90%?
Because it seems so likely. Like, can you ever see him saying, no, I don't need that power? Give it to the next guy, even though he said J.D. Vance isn't even qualified to be the next successor to the country?
Yeah, I gotta say what he said about J.D. Vance is concerning. When he was asked, do you see J.D. Vance as being your successor? And he immediately, didn't even hesitate, says no. So
He's
then
qualified. He just, no.
Yeah. So that might mean that he sees himself as his own successor?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that or Elon or his kids.
So then how do you respond to folks that, that might suggest that, like, he's done such a great job, maybe another term wouldn't be that bad?
Those people are fucking morons.
No, what about... Okay.
There are qualified things we can point to that says that the country is going down and is, worse off after its first term and after the first month that he's been in there. But the facts don't matter anymore, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I mean, but has he done anything right in your opinion?
Yeah, he got rid of the penny.
What about the hostage he brought home?
I don't really know much about that one.
Yeah,
But he didn't bring home the Gaza hostages, so
actually,
did he bring a couple of them?
Yeah, he did.
I might have heard that.
I think he also, not only did he bring home some hostages that were being held in Gaza, he brought home Mark Foley in Russia. There was also somebody that was being held that's American in Belarus, a close ally of Russia, that he also had released over the last 36 hours or so. He's brought home at least 4 people in only 4 weeks in office. You got to admit, that's good.
Now, Tim, I'm not one of these, Trump-hating crazy people. I will hate him for critical things that he's done. If he brings people back, that's awesome. I'm not going to give him shit for that.
Okay.
I'm not one of these people like MAGA Reacts that doesn't care and doesn't think critically. Great, we should have those people back. But I also believe what Mike said 2 calls ago, or last call, about how we really don't know what we gave up for that. Doge is not being very open and transparent. Trump is never going to be transparent. So we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah. And what is your trust factor towards Elon?
That's probably about a -1 about now.
I mean, he looks like a nice guy. Got his little kid on TV. He's talking
He looks like a sociopath. Have you seen the Fifth Element meme where it's got the guy with the headpiece on the side?
I think I have. So
He's getting there.
no trust for Elon. What I mean,
He's
but
using his kid as a shield.
damn. So as you see in the photo behind me with me posting both Kamala and Trump up there, do you think Kamala would have been an effective president in only her first 4 weeks like this?
It would have been a lot quieter.
But quiet and effective aren't the same thing, though. She could be quiet. Biden was quiet, but a lot of folks feel he wasn't accomplishing anything.
It's really your view on what actually matters, Tim. Because I would say Trump is not effective. He's a bully and doing illegal things.
Wait. You said Trump is not effective. He's a what?
He's a bully and doing illegal things. That's not effective. That's breaking the system. So there's a lot of people on here that are going to say he's doing so much and being a great president. That's their opinion. Mine is that I think Kamala would have done it better, but been a lot quieter about it.
Okay, then I gotta ask you, for my beloved MAGA that are watching the program, when you say Trump has done illegal things, give me some things that you say that Trump has did that are illegal.
Well, first one, the penny. Not allowed to do that. That's Congress.
You just learned that.
Federal funds.
You just learned that.
Freezing all the federal funds. That's quite illegal.
Yeah.
The conflicts of interest with Doge and Elon being in there. He gives no fucks about that. That's illegal.
That's not illegal. That is not officially illegal. It might be.
It 100% is, Tim. Now, there's laws that I can't personally quote to you, but the conflict of interest within the governmental systems and contractors is very much rules and laws.
Let me ask you this then. If he's done all this, if you believe he's done all this illegal shit, what are the chances you think he'll face a 3rd impeachment? You're laughing.
With how Congress is now, 0. But we'll see. I mean, he did some very illegal shit to get all those other indictments. And all of that went away. So I don't trust him to actually have to take recompense for anything.
Yeah. Considering how bad the prior 2 impeachments went for the Democrats under Nancy Pelosi, can you see any possibility if they win the midterms of going for a 3rd try at it?
Oh, shit. Probably not. I would love to see Maxwell Frost get in there and do more stuff than Hakeem Jeffries.
I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is it. I think that, I mean, maybe if he was going up against J.D. Vance or somebody else, but I don't know who the Democrats can present to go after somebody like Trump. It would almost have to
be Maxwell Frost.
Who?
AOC Maxwell Frost.
You think AOC got that?
Jasmine Crockett.
I was going to say Jasmine Crockett has the attitude. AOC, you think she got that kind of support?
If you're looking at it from a MAGA bias, no. If you're looking at it from a reasonable person talking about what's actually happening and what's wrong and the critical things happening, yeah, she's got the energy.
Is she old?
If you don't give a fuck, it doesn't matter.
Is she officially old enough yet?
What do you mean, to be president?
Yeah, tell me 35, don't she? Is she 35?
I think so.
Alexa, how old is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, you do have an answer. Alexa, how old is AOC?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is 35 years old.
Yeah, perfect.
Wow.
Alex, 4 years, she'll be 39, which then give her enough experience to have a lot of the detractors, shut their fucking mouth.
You think she could? You think she's ready for the job?
No.
Would you vote for her?
Probably.
Against?
But I would have voted for a ball of fluff over Donald Trump. So.
Has he? Okay. All right, fair enough. But I mean, well, listen. There's a lot of things in there that I can understand where you might have criticism. Certainly taking Gaza and some of that Greenland shit, I'm not a big fan of. But there's a lot of folks that think he's doing a good job, man. I mean, 53%.
He's a terrible businessman that lost 3 casinos at the same time. That's hard to do. You got to be a tremendous fuck up.
You think he's
to lose 3 casinos at the same time?
You don't think he's a terrible business? I mean, the guy's a billionaire.
Yeah, he also got $500 million from his father. It's not terribly hard. If he had just invested it in portfolios, he would have had even more money than his $3 billion or whatever the fuck it is now.
I get the fact that Trump
6 times.
Well, anybody that
any business person, if you can't keep 6 businesses open,
anybody that owns as many businesses as Trump has some of them failed at times. I will say this, and I agree he inherited good money, but I think Trump could sell ice to Eskimos. He is good. He's a good salesman. So I think he would.
Eskimos.
Huh?
Some dumb Eskimos.
Hey, every salesman got dumb customers.
There's a lot of people want to be in cults. There can be an Eskimo cult that then wants him to sell them some shit. I mean, I can believe that any day.
I mean, the guy was doing well. The guy was doing well on The Apprentice. I believe he was hosting boxing matches in his, some of the fights had Trump on the ring. I mean, that guy would be successful, I think, even without the loan from his dad. Not to the level he is now, but I think he was on his way to success regardless. You don't think he's a good businessman?
He has a brand and he has hotels. That's all he's got. His brands don't mean anything.
I think he has a brain. You don't think he has a brain, huh?
No, brand.
I heard you said brand. I said brain. I think he has the brain to be successful.
I mean, realistically, the more I listen to him talk, he sounds like RFK with brainworms. And if you told me Trump had brainworms, I wouldn't terribly, question that too much.
You sure it's not just a case of you don't like Trump?
No, I'm not a Trump sexual like PJ.
A Trump sexual. All right. I got to move it on, Sherbert. You're always introducing new words. A Trump sexual.
No, I told you that about a month ago.
Yes, you did. I remember you saying it.
On him.
God. I got to go.
Good night, Tim.
Sherbert, thank you. Always a pleasure. All right, moving on to the program. Shout out to you. What did that say in the comments? Trump sexual. Wow. Stop gaslighting, handsome. You know Trump is not a good businessman. Come on. Ron Soski? I disagree with you. I do think Trump is a good businessman. I really do think that his ability to say, I mean, folks are going to suggest that he has followers that are in a cult. Well, then that means you're doing something right that they like. Even if you're not doing what you're claiming, people like him. I think he would have been a successful person whether he inherited money from his dad or not. I'm not saying he would have reached the level of a billionaire, but I think he would have been a successful person regardless. He's charming, he's inspiring, he knows how to talk to a certain group of people the right way. Keep in mind, before he was MAGA, the head or the piper of MAGA, he was still well loved by Hollywood elite. I mean, the Oprah Winfrey's and Jesse Jacksons and Hugh Hefner, the Playboy Mansion, that guy was finding his way everywhere. I think he would have been successful no matter what. I don't want to look. We can criticize the guy, but I think he would have been a successful businessman no matter what. Just his dad's $1 million loan gave him a hell of a head start, but I think he would have reached it. Trump handles business. Trump handles business. America first, bitch, says liberty or death. America first, bitch. It sounds great. It sounds like a great slogan, but when you're talking about buying Greenland, taking over Gaza, adding Canada, taking back the Panama Canal, that don't sound like America first, bitch, as you say. I'm not hearing that because rebuilding Gaza is going to cost a whole bunch of America's money. And maybe they'll look at us as bitches for giving it to him. Because if he turns Gaza into the what did he call it, the Riviera of the Middle East, you think you and I are going to benefit from that? I don't think so. You think you and I are going to help build it? I think so. Our tax money is going to go to rebuild Gaza, and the proceeds from Gaza is not going to come back to us. That's what I see. It's going to go to folks. Our tax money will build it. The elite will be allowed to invest in it, and the elite will be the ones that will profit from it. You won't see shit from that. You'll be told this is why it's going up, and you won't receive anything from it once it is constructed. That's the way I see it. He wants to build Gaza to be to rival Dubai. You know, like I said, if there was something for real in store for the Palestinians, and you could get maybe the leader of the Palestinians to agree to it, you know, like when what was the guy? Yasser Arafat. He used to be the head of Hamas, Yasser Arafat, before he passed away. If you could get him, who had a large amount of support among the Palestinian people, grease his palms behind the scenes or whatever, and get him to convince his people it's better to move or whatever, then that would be one thing. But the way Trump is doing it, he's just literally taking the land. Him and Netanyahu are literally just stealing these people's land. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what's going to be the outcome with Gaza, how beautiful it's going to look as Trump says or whatever, but there's going to be places that go boom because of that. For the rest of our natural lives, there will be people that want to strike America and Israel because their land was stolen. There will be some places going boom because of that. And I totally understand that. I totally understand that. I don't want anybody to be hurt. But this is one where I understand. You just took their shit. Just took it. And Trump is on record, by the way, suggesting that Israel should bomb it even more so it'll be easier to clean up and redevelop. So he's in this. And so is Biden. Because America's in it. America's going to stand with Israel no matter what. So I could totally understand anybody wanting to make things go boom behind America just literally stealing their land. We're not, as Trump said, we're not even going to pay anything for it. Hey, it's rubble. We shouldn't have to pay anything for it. That's just straight up theft. I could understand that if somebody wanted to really get some get back for that, because that is straight up theft. Tim wears the hat when no one is looking, says liberty or death. I don't. Why would I put on a hat? Is that the right one? Did I put on the wrong hat? I don't know. Why would I wear a hat when no one is looking? Is that the right one? I don't know. What hat do I put on? Okay, thank you for the super chat there. Liberty or death. And he says, AOC, LOL, this guy's a tool in reference to my last caller. I don't know. I'd have to see AOC. I'd have to hear her, because right now she's basically tied in with Bernie Sanders, the whole socialism thing. I don't know, AOC. I kind of agree with Liberty a little bit. AOC might be a stretch. But let's see if she's matured. And let's see how much damage Trump does to the psyche of the American voter. I mean, if he gets in there and does things that really piss people off, folks might be willing to try anything. So we'll have to see. Mom, make me another hot pocket. I don't know what that means there, Liberty. You will have the hat on, Tim. Liberty trying to dress me. All right, let me go back to the vibes. Liberty or death? You really trying to get me to wear that hat, huh? All right, continuing on with the program. I heard him called out, so I'm going to bring him up. MAGA reacts. I want to know, why do you hate the government? That's what I was told to ask MAGA. Why does MAGA and the Republicans, quote unquote, hate the government? What say you, MAGA?
We don't hate the government. We just want to fix it. It's inefficient. It's bloated. It wastes money. It depends who's in charge. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's horrendous. And I don't know. Everything they do seems to be inefficient and wasteful. And they can't go bankrupt. You can't just say, hey, you're not doing well, you wasted so much money, you got to go out of business because we can't give you any more money because we're stuck with them. Like,
You think the
just
government
switch to
should be able
another
to go?
government.
You think the government should be able to go bankrupt?
No, but like I think it should be restarted every now and then, as far as like not the government as a whole, but like different departments. Like USAID should have been restarted every. I said this last time. It should be restarted every couple of years, every at least 10 years, to make sure like no money is being misused. Just start fresh.
Why not do audits on each individual department? I mean, USAID is involved in some of everything. Why not go through the cycle? Let's say they got 100 different programs running. I believe it's more than that, but let's say they got 100 different programs. Every other year we're gonna run these 10. Next year we're gonna do these 10. Why not? Why don't you shut the whole thing down altogether?
Because who watches the watchers? It's the same people who are running it, doing the audits. And you can't, I don't know. Yeah, we need like third party doing the audits.
Okay, you think,
Or,
who's watching Elon? Who's watching Elon?
We are the people. I mean, he's trying to be as transparent as he can be.
And who's watching to ensure he's actually being transparent? Let's say he's lying. Who can you depend on to catch him in that lie and tell the American people?
Well, that's what the Democrats are for. That's what the opposing party.
They're not. You're firing all of them. None of them are in government. You're getting rid of all of them. So who's going to catch them?
No, I'm talking about people in Congress, people in the Senate. There's still plenty of Democrats in positions of power, and the voters.
You know how long it could take if it's left up to the Democratic Congress and Senate. Because all of these different he's firing people right and left. If you're depending on the few congressmen and senators to catch it, he could do that for years and get away with it. You need individual auditors on both sides or a third-party auditor within some of these environments he's in. You can't depend on Congress and the Senate to do it.
Well, right now, I'm going to give him more than 20 days to show me if he's trustworthy or not. I mean, you were saying the other day, like, how it'd feel if George Soros was the one doing this. The difference is Elon was there with Trump during the election. It's not like George Soros where he's funding shit from the shadows. He was right there. He told us he's going to do this, and we voted for Trump because that was part of the.
He didn't tell you. No, wait a minute. My reaction. You telling me that Elon Musk made it clear he was going to shut down USAID and the Department of Education and all of this? He didn't say all of this stuff. He's doing way more stuff than he talked about on the campaign trail.
No, but it's not like he said he was gonna do the opposite. He said he was gonna make the government more efficient, and that's what he's doing.
He's not making it more efficient. He's not making it more efficient. He's making it lighter. If he had a ran on the campaign of I'm going to fire, hang on. If he had a ran on the campaign of I'm going to fire 70-80% of the feds, he wouldn't have got elected because a lot of them people he's firing voted for him.
What do you mean? He said he was going to get rid of the Department of Education. He said he was going to get rid of like a third of the FBI. I mean, this was part of the campaign. What part
he
of it?
Said he was going to demand they come back to work, not tell him to come back and then resign. He said he was going to demand that they come back to work and not continue working from home because it's wasteful. He didn't say when you come back, we're going to fire you.
He clearly said he's going to get rid of the Department of Education. I don't know where.
Yeah, he said that. He did say that. But he didn't say he was going to get rid of this.
With the FBI, he said he was going to get rid of the. I think it's more Vivek, but again, it's part of the.
No.
He said so much. It's so hard, but part of the rhetoric was he's going to get rid of a good chunk of the FBI, especially the ones in D.C.
And get rid of the CIA. He's going to get rid of the CIA, and he's going to get rid of everybody that ever worked on the January 6th. There's no way he promised all of that.
Look, he promised to rein them in, and that's why we have Tulsi. You know Tulsi Gabbard, whatever her name. Tulsi got approved today, and she got sworn in today.
Yeah.
So she's officially head of the DEI.
You know something? I will say this for Trump. I'll give Trump credit. I think we're at a point right now where he could appoint a cardboard box and get it through. You're not going to get any resistance from the Republicans in Congress and Senate. He could appoint somebody that ain't nobody ever seen before, and they would put him through. Because they're not doing it on merit. DEI. They're not doing it on merit. They're doing it because Trump said this is a good person. That's all they need.
I think Tulsi has merit. She has merit for that job. She's been in government, in Congress, in the armed forces all her life. And then on top of that, you know, my favorite part is, what's her name? Harris was pandering, saying that she's going to put Republicans on her administration. That's one of the things she's going to do differently from Biden. Trump didn't even pander and say that. He
Yeah,
just
he
did
did.
it.
How the hell you think John F. Kennedy got on there? He was supposedly a liberal. So was Tulsi Gabbard at one point.
Yeah, but he never got up there and be like, I'm going to hire Democrats and put them on my party. No, that's not what he said. I'm going to hire this person because they are going to do a good job in this position. And he never said it was because they're a Democrat. He never said it was because she's a DEI, because she's like I don't want to call her colored, but she is sort of.
Oh.
She's Samoan, I think.
You told Tulsi Gabbard?
Yeah, he didn't give her the
I don't think Gabbard. I don't agree with you
because she's, you know, she's good for the position. The same way.
I don't think Gabbard is good. I don't think Gabbard is qualified. I don't think Hegseth is qualified. Matt Gaetz was not qualified. RFK doesn't have a medical degree at all, but he's over health and human services. I don't think those people are qualified. I think they're qualified for being loyal. I think that's their main qualification, is they are loyal.
It's not just loyalty. I see the pattern. Basically, it's not just loyalty. These people are very good at speaking to people. They've all ran for president or had big TV job, and they have a good relationship with the TV.
What the hell does a big TV job? What the hell?
Well, let me explain. Because the one of the features of this administration is their transparency. So how are you going to be transparent with the people if you can't talk to them, if you can't stand in front of the TV and explain what you're doing? And they've been very good at doing that.
I like the way you orated. I'll agree with that. You should be able to talk to the people, because I've been giving Trump credit from that from day one. Even though I don't think everything he says is true, he does do a really good job at reaching out to the people. Because I'm watching him on television this morning when I woke up, meeting that Russian prisoner that was freed, meeting him at the airport. I'm like, love him or not, that is good. That's grown man shit right there. To go and actually meet this guy at the airport like that, the president of the United States.
Yeah. He's also gotten a lot more hostages. There were I think 7 or 8 from Venezuela.
Yeah.
He got released a few days ago.
Yeah, I can't knock that. I mean, I give him credit where credit is due, but some of the things you're saying, I don't. And I see the comments. Pipe says this is a show. Being a politician is a show. That's what your job is.
Exactly.
It's to sell yourself to the American people. Yeah, it is a show. That's what works.
See, I didn't see it at first, but now it's clear as day. Everyone he hired is good in front of a TV, so he could talk to the people. So
I don't know about RFK. I don't know
about his side. He could do whatever he wants.
I don't know about RFK. Just hearing that voice over and over again, he ain't good to the people. I can't listen to that shit. It's too squeaky.
He had 20% of the voters. You know, he ran for president. He should have been the Democratic nominee if they didn't fucking screw him over at the beginning.
He's not going to be. You know why he can't be the Democratic nominee? You put 10,000 Democrats in an auditorium, town hall style, and you ask them, give me the 5 most important issues that are concerning the Democratic Party. Kennedy wasn't speaking on any of those. Not one. He's talking about, you know, ingredients in children's food. He's talking about the vax. Democrats they weren't running on that. So why would they elect somebody?
He's an environmental lawyer, and they're big into the environment. And the Kennedy name alone will give him 10 or 15% of the Democrat voters.
His whole family think he's a piece of shit. The Kennedys.
Now that he switched to Trump, but if he was running as a Democrat, they would have been all on his side. I mean, you're talking like RFK now. I'm talking about RFK at the beginning of the election when he had a good 20% of the votes. And, they made it impossible for him to run for president.
You ever heard of the term? I'm going to give you a term you may have.
Before all that crazy shit.
Yeah, I get all that, but I'm going to give you a term you may have heard of. Have you ever heard of the term rhino?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard are the Democratic version of a rhino. You don't switch off. If you truly believe in your principles, you don't switch your principles because the party didn't elect you to be at the top. I mean, how do you
think that's it? Or the fact that the party moved so much to the left that these people that were center left are now center right?
When Kennedy ran for president, The party was just as progressive as it is now. It ain't like he ran for president back in the 80s. He just ran for president a year ago. They were all of the issues, whether it's LGBT, abortion rights, they were everything that the Democrats stand for today. They were standing for that when he was running to be the leader of the party. So it ain't that the party was too far to the left. He was running at that time.
Look, I don't see it your way because even I was a Democrat like 10 years ago, or right before Trump. And there's a lot of Democrats that switched over. Look at fucking, look at what's his name? Look at all of YouTube. Including what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Joe Rogan and the rest of them. All these YouTubers that really had nothing to do with politics.
I don't know. In Joe Rogan's case, let me just say this in regards to some of these folks. I don't think they're switching over because the Democrats have moved too far in the progressive category. I think the fact is some of these voters, some of these viewers know that their money, because I get accused of this shit even though I'm in the middle. A lot of folks who have successful platforms know that if they criticize Trump, they're going to lose their audience. Like the Megyn Kellys, who he said some horrible shit about. Joe Rogan, a large portion of his audience is MAGA. If he gets up there and because he had a video where he said that Obama was the best president and he was a statesman, and he suddenly changed his mind because he knows if you don't speak favorable of Trump, MAGA will leave you. You know how many viewers I can look at my algorithm.
I don't think Rogan cares.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And certainly the people that pay his checks care as well. I'll tell you this. YouTube sends me my algorithms and all of that shit, tells me how my channel is doing. I can literally see MAGA disappearing when I put out a video that's critical of them. And I can see them coming. Like today when I thanked Trump for saving the hostage that was in Russia, viewership went up. If I get out there and criticize, MAGA will leave your ass in a second. So don't ever believe that MAGA's not capable of
I don't blame.
Yeah, don't ever
I blame
believe
the algorithm, not the viewers.
Yeah, don't ever believe that MAGA's not capable of cancel culture. If you look at Taylor Swift, successful country music singer, the minute she started criticizing Trump, boom, they hate the hell out of her now.
I would agree with you if I didn't see the slow transition of all these people going from being on the left to the right. It didn't happen overnight. It slowly happened, and you could see it step by step, including Elon from being in California and being, he made electric cars a thing. Without him, electric cars would be popular right now. What's his name? Joe Rogan.
You said Elon was a slow transition? I think the reason why Elon Musk was a slow transition is because he was known for creating the Tesla and electric cars, and the right just assumed because he's creating vehicles we don't like, he must be a liberal. I don't think that guy ever was liberal. When you look at how he came from apartheid in South Africa and you look at his history, that dude was a right-winger. He just came out with a product that you didn't like. He never was left.
To me, I was told he voted for Biden in 2020.
I don't win no fucking way. No fucking way. That dude.
And the final switch happened after the unaliving attempt, the ear piercing. That's when he finally decided to really, support Trump. Up to then, he was just flirting with the right.
You do realize he was endorsing Ron DeSantis in his run, right?
Okay, but before... it was a slow transition, and you could see it happen. You could see him moving from California
that guy,
to Texas.
There is nothing in that guy's history that I can see to show he ever voted left. He made money off of left wing, what you may view as left wing products like the liberal like the cars and what do you call it, Silicon Valley shit. But that guy's been a right wing. He's way too far to the right to have been. You think somebody switched from left as far to the right as he is in that short period of time?
But what about Joe Rogan, who smokes pot, who interviewed Bernie Sanders and endorsed Bernie Sanders? What about, all these other people? You can see the transition. Tulsi was a presidential candidate for the left, and so was RFK. You could see them. Like, they were Democrats, and then the Democrat Party screwed them over in one way or another. And then they slowly found a better home with MAGA because MAGA is more in the center. MAGA has a coalition that accepts people from the center and from the center left. In the words of the immortal Lil' Kim, money, power, respect. I think that a lot of folks on the left
that were not able to reach the pinnacle of success realize that if they come over and join Trump, and Trump knows how to talk to people behind the scenes like Suge Knight and convince you to come over there. I think that Trump talked to Tulsi Gabbard and had a conversation with RF and told him, if you come over here to this side, the winning side, I can make you a king. I can make you God. And they fell for it. I don't believe it's because they changed their principles or changed their politics. I think that he promised them, a bunch of power in a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and that was enough to make them switch.
No, what about the part before where they kicked out of the Democratic Party or shunned by the Democratic Party in one way or another? I mean, these people just didn't switch overnight. A lot of stuff happened. I mean, I could list it for you if you want. Yeah. But these people just didn't just switch overnight. He didn't go to them. They didn't go from being, a nominee for the Democrats to...
Well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, based on RFK, what he was running on, even when he was running to be leader of the Democratic Party, the Democrats did not feel he was a Democrat then. He's anti-vax. That's not a Democratic. He was running as an anti-vax Democrat president. So he wasn't a Democrat even when he was claiming to be a Democrat. Just look what he was running on. How many Democrats are running on that shit?
What do you mean? The anti-vax thing started out in California with Democrats until it became about the COVID vax.
When he was doing it,
Democrat leftist thing.
When he was doing it, MAGA, it was a Republican thing. When he was actually being anti-vax, the Democrats were thinking this guy was a crazy kook. He was running as a Democrat on a policy that the Democrats thought was crazy. He was not a Democrat.
Well, for the record, the anti-vax thing started with movie stars in California, and I know a lot of Democrats.
There's a large portion of the Democratic Party that are not.
Vax.
There's a large portion of the Democratic Party that are not movie stars or living in California.
And I know a lot of Democrats who didn't take the COVID vax. I mean, I don't really think.
I don't know any Democrat politician.
Party line, but I know a lot of Democrats.
I don't know any Democrat politician that was running on the platform of being anti-vax. None of them.
Okay, I mean, maybe that's how he ended up on the right, but
he didn't end up on the right. He didn't end up on the right, man. He was right. He just was calling himself a Democrat. He's like Joe Manchin or Christian Cinema. You never really was one of us. You just called yourself that.
But those people are not working with Trump right now. They just quit because they have nowhere to be. And that's what would have happened to RFK if Trump hadn't took him in. He would be in no man's land with them. I guess. He still would be a rich Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm sure Joe Manchin and Christian Cinema got plenty of money. They ain't broke.
Yeah. I saw it from my own eyes, and I went through it myself, going from Democrat to not fitting with the Democrats to fitting with Trump, specifically Trump. After basically January 6th, I realized the Republicans are not 100% where I fit in either. I'm like somewhere in the center, and Trump best represent me. But
now you don't say the magic word. Wait, you don't say the magic words. Now you said after January 6th. What happened on January 6th?
I mean, just seeing, I questioned the election, and what I didn't support January 6th. As much as I defend them, I don't support what they did. I figured by then it was over, that it was too late. But I really had a lot of questions I wanted answered, and none of these fucking Republicans wanted the answers. They just wanted to be rid of Trump. They just wanted to get rid of him and be done with him.
So what you're saying is you're not a Republican, you're MAGA.
Yeah, because I see myself in the center, and Republicans are conservative on the right. I'm not conservative.
You see yourself and you see MAGA as center?
MAGA is a big coalition, including conservative, the center, and the center left. Yes, I keep saying that to you. I know you don't believe me.
No, I don't. Not at all. But
from the people I know, from my side, I live in Florida. There's no we have everything here, the most diverse fucking part of the country, and we have a ton of MAGA. So they're not all conservative, especially here in Miami where we party and fucking
that's
drugs
insane.
And everything.
I mean, when you look at we know Trump is a populist, but when you look at all of the folks that are following Trump up, the folks who are in second place, third, I'm talking to Elon Musk, I'm talking to Ron DeSantis types, I'm talking JD Vance. Ain't none of them people centrist, man. Them people are either right or far right. So They're all MAGA.
No, are you kidding me? Well, first of all, Tulsi said, I would say
Tulsi Gabbard. I said people that are pretty. If you're talking about right hand men to Trump, like immediate successors, people that would be instantly viewed as to accept a large portion of leadership in the party. Tulsi Gabbard ain't it. It's gonna be people like Elon, Ron DeSantis, J.D. Vance. All of them people are far right. Them people ain't centrist.
I mean,
Tulsi Gabbard ain't gonna get the job.
I see them all as more complicated than that. They're a mix of everything. I mean, that's the beauty of Trump. He's a little bit of everything. And so are a lot of those people you mentioned.
Let me ask you this.
Some of them are far right.
Let me ask you this.
Are far left compared to the rest.
Let me ask you this. If for some reason Trump had to step down or he ended up dying or something, who could fill in his shoes next?
I don't know. I think JD is a little too young. I think he's good. He's good for it, but I think he's too young. I really want Tulsi to be the first woman president. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but that's one of my hopes.
What the hell is it about this, bro? I mean, this woman.
She's like me. She started out a Democrat and now a Republican, and I see her as she cares more about America than the party.
Didn't you say she was Samoan? You mentioned she was kind of a person of color, like a Samoan or something.
Yeah, so even better. She'll be the first person of color, first woman president. She'll fill a lot of boxes up.
If you believe that MAGA would promote her to the top of the party, you probably did used to be a Democrat. For you to say something like that.
If we're truly a party of populists, I think it could happen. Which, let me start saying that, since saying that we're in the center doesn't fly with a lot of you guys.
You've had a couple people of color try to lead your party, being Nikki Haley, and you had Vivek Ramaswamy. The minute they started getting even a hint of attention, the fact that they were colored started coming out like crazy from the right. So I don't think...
Well, Vivek is too young. That was one of
They got nothing to do with that. They were talking about his color. His skin color came out. His skin color became an issue.
I understand for some people his skin color came out. For me personally, it was his age and he had some weird 9/11 conspiracies that turned me off too.
Bro.
With me, it was never his color. It was his age, the fact that he was also
9/11 conspiracy.
Not too long ago, but
9/11
conspiracy. Age and 9/11 conspiracy.
9/11. You're bringing up 9/11 conspiracies while bragging that Kennedy is your guy. The guy's like literally QAnon damn near. You go.
I said Kennedy was my guy. I said he should have won the Democratic nominee. I didn't say he was my guy. I said Tulsi. I like her. Maybe he was never my guy. It's just I see the logic behind him.
All right.
Look, the Trump administration might not be diverse in skin color, but they are diverse in thought and diverse in, politics.
MAGA, if you're not diverse in skin color, you're probably not going to be diverse in thought in a lot of areas. I mean, you're not going to think like a skin color that is not part of your party. I disagree with that. You're saying they're not diverse in skin color, but they're diverse in thought. Well, all of the thought process of maybe a Hispanic or the thought process of a black person or the thought process of a woman in leadership, it's not going to be there because you don't favor that as much.
No, because the entire party are from all over the place. Some from California, some from Hawaii, some from New York, some from Florida. I mean, this is a very diverse party. So even though their skin color might match more than the Democrats, their thinking and their politics is definitely all over the place. And then with the Democrats, their skin color is all over the place, but they're more of a cult than I feel they're more of a cult because they all think the same, they all believe the same shit. They're on TV saying the same exact shit.
You're telling me the Democratic Party. You're telling me the Democratic Party is a constitutional
crisis is the word of the day that they're all repeating.
You got to be crazy. You're telling me the Democratic Party is part of a cult when several Democratic areas went red for the first time. They didn't vote for Kamala Harris because of how she was handling Gaza. And you're telling me the Democratic Party is a cult? There's a whole lot of people, even Democrats, that were yelling FJB and Let's Go Brandon. The Democratic Party is not loyal to Biden or Harris like you guys are to Trump. It's not the same. If you think it is, I don't even know what to say.
For me, the cult part is how they talk in weird language. Like the way they talk, the way they think. the way they accept certain things that shouldn't be so easily acceptable. You know, like men in sports, and the way they're just their language in general, how they speak, how they get scared of saying certain words once they become not politically correct. I mean, is MAGA ever afraid to talk and not speak their mind? If
Every member in you asked me, is MAGA afraid to talk or speak their mind? Every member in Congress and the Senate is afraid to tell how they really feel about January 6th. Yes, they are afraid to speak their mind. They all are lying about how they feel about January 6th because you can look at how they talked on January 6th, and now they're saying different shit. Yes, they're scared to speak. I gotta move it on. I'll give you the last word.
Hey, 4 years ago, there was people scared in the other way about January 6th. And my last word is 2028 is going to be Trump versus Obama. The only way Trump gets a third term, if we give Obama a chance to run against them, that's the only way the Democrats will agree to it, and we need to vote on it. And that's the only way it's going to happen. It's going to be Trump versus Obama 2028, or neither of them.
I'll take neither for 200. MAGA, appreciate you coming through.
Pleasure.
Always good. And that is, there you go. I wanted to find from somebody on the right, in regards to the dislike of the government. MAGA reacts. I always enjoy talking to him. We don't agree on much politically, but he's certainly welcome on the show anytime. And by the way, any of you folks that are watching on any other platforms, understand we don't block, ban, or censor for your commentary. You can be critical of anybody on the program, including the host. We believe in free speech here. So if you favor that type of dialogue, I'm going to ask that you follow the program if you're on TikTok or Instagram. And if you're on YouTube horizontal or YouTube vertical, feel free to follow the program. Simple Saying says, tag me in. I can answer most of your questions for MAGA. How do I tag you in? I don't even know how to do that. But you can come up on Instagram Live and I'll bring you up live. We can talk about it and everybody can hear it. Looking in the comments though, Donald Trump is a little bit of everything. He got a little homosexual side. I don't think there's any history of Trump being a homosexual. I don't believe that. I mean, Trump has been with some of the finest of women. If there were rumors of that, I think you would have heard about it. I don't think he has a homosexual side. Yikes. Why cater to MAGA, says CFCD. I believe in catering to everybody. I believe in free speech. I believe that we are all better off when we talk to each other. I don't believe in echo chambers. And I know most of social media, that's exactly what you get. You tune into one channel, everybody is bashing Trump, or you tune into another channel and everybody on there has a red hat on. You're going to get everybody here. That's just the way it is. It's been to my detriment at times, but I do believe in allowing everyone to speak. So this is one of those places where no matter what your politics are, you're invited to be here. Looking in the comments though, just came back. Oh, he's gone. Mike, you got a problem with MAGA Reacts, Mike? You took a break and left because of that. Wow, what's going on my Instagram? I see you there, Sherman, saying, fuck you. Oh my God. Some of you folks, I got a lot of comments coming at me all over the place. So I do try to read as many of them as I can in between conversations with guests. This is where I'm going to take a little bit of plug, help solicit the channel. To make your comments known, super chat. I don't care if it's 99 cents. It changes the color of the screen. So if you want your comment read, certainly a super chat is one way to guarantee that happens. I do read comments that are not in the form of super chat, but without that, your comment looks just like everybody else's. And I got 4 different cameras aimed at me, all with comments flashing all over the place. So I might see it, I might not. But a super chat, 100% of those get responded to. Trump also buddies with Diddy. Watch The Apprentice. The Apprentice has been off air for how long? I don't want to go back all the way back to The Apprentice. Z-Pack. Now, Z-Pack is the man that put me through and allowed me to interview Michael Cohen. How is Michael, Trump's lawyer, how is Michael Cohen doing at this point? I got to assume Michael Cohen is pissed, because if he was still riding on the Trump train, he would be one rich fucking lawyer. So Michael Cohen went against Trump, and it certainly has not helped him financially. We'll see if Z-Pack comes up. Where is the super chat located? It's on YouTube, Kelbrew75. It's on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, the Handsome Liberal on YouTube. If you go, I'm on two, you can see it horizontal and vertical. So on YouTube. Oh my liberal, if you think Trump is such a good businessman, how much did you invest in his meme coin? Because he made billions out of it. Take care. Now, I didn't invest any money in his meme coin. I think he's a good businessman, but some of that is because of cons. C-O-N-S. Cons. People fall for this shit. I didn't invest any money in meme coin. But then again, I didn't invest any money in Bitcoin or any of them. And there are people who did, and they made a fortune off of it. I just, unfortunately, were not one of those. The Black Apprentice winner was discriminated against. Trump receives a pass. I think Trump will be receiving passes for the rest of his natural life. He is literally untouchable. He is the definition of untouchable, in my opinion. Don't know what happened with Z-Pack, but we'll keep it moving. What am I looking at? Okay. I think that says, look at what didn't count. Black history is American history. True, if they are honest about it. Because they got rid of Black History Month under that same conversation where we don't need to have Black History Month. We got American history. If you're telling the truth about the experiences of Black Americans, then you wouldn't need Black History Month. But Black History Month was created because they were deliberately omitting giving credit to Black people for any damn thing. I mean, without Black History Month, there's a whole lot of Black history most Americans would not know. I mean, think about it. We, in this country, up to at least the 1970s, just about any of the history books you read in schools were written and produced or authored by white authors. Most of that shit did not we covered, there are more chapters and more coverage on World War II, which essentially started from the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, to the second atomic bomb on Nagasaki in August of 1945. That's all World War II really spans for the United States. We cover more of that than we do slavery, which went on 400 years? So if you don't have Black history, a large portion of Black history would not be covered. I mean, we talk more about the Battle of the Bulge and some of the events of World War II than whole years of slavery. So you got to have Black History Month, in my opinion, unless we get to a point where they actually tell history accurately, and we know they were not doing that. I mean, how many movies have you seen where they're covering some Black baseball player like Jackie Robinson, or some Black admiral, or some Black guy first guy who became a Coast Guard member? So all these people that didn't get credit that were exceptional at their jobs because they were written out of history. How many stories are like that out there? How many movies have you seen? Literally dozens of them. So that was because Black history wasn't being told accurately. Also Canada is not trading what does that say? UK, can't read what you're saying there. Canada is not trading a UK king for a clown. I don't know what you're saying there. But yeah, I mean, if they told history accurately, you would not need a Black History Month. But they weren't doing that. I still get viewers right now in 2025, still get viewers that say the Civil War had nothing to do with slavery. The party switch did not happen. And the Confederates loved Black people. It's just about pride and heritage. They love Black folks. People still say that in 2025. So people still are showing that if they ever were given the ability to tell history, they would do it inaccurately. So yeah, you need some oversight, because there's a lot of folks who are still not telling the truth, all while saying we need to get over what happened in the past. How can you get over something that you're not even being truthful about? Matrix. Good evening. Welcome to the program. More lies, Tim said. Yeah, lots of them, Mike. Trump has made me love Ronald Reagan. The Republican Party are already in love with Ronald Reagan. You must have been late to the party on that. In fact, Ronald Reagan was considered the best Republican in our lifetime until Trump came along. So, But hey, one free U.S. citizen should make us think differently. I don't quite get that with Mike. The box must be problematic. I've tried to bring up 3 guests. If this one don't come up, then Cal, you're next. I don't know what's going on with the box. I'm trying to bring up guests. Looking in the comments while that's resetting, I want to make sure I'm not missing any. Don't think I am, though. No. All right. Doesn't suck for me. Darren, I don't know what you mean there. Bro, at one point I had every DMX on Napster. You stealing them all there? I used to love Napster too there, Maga Reacts. Ronald Reagan has made speeches about how dangerous tariffs on friendly trade. Well, in the age of Trump said it's good. I mean, in my opinion, that's kind of where we are now. If Trump says this is something we should do, for the most part, MAGA's going to think that's what we should do. On yesterday's show, the question was, is Elon Musk qualified? Based on the answers I got, it's either one or 2 things. Okay, he's obviously an incredibly wealthy person, so I guess that means he's qualified. Or it's because Trump said he's the guy for the job. But outside of that, and here's what I don't agree with a lot of folks say. Because Elon Musk has, quote unquote, all the money in the world, he cannot be bought. I don't buy that. Even wealthy people still want more money. Since Trump got elected, after Elon Musk contributed a couple $100 million to his campaign, Elon Musk has made billions of dollars by joining MAGA and joining the Trump campaign. He doesn't have a huge amount of media buzz around him about how much money he's been giving away. So clearly he's taking it in. So the idea that he doesn't want more money doesn't resonate with me. He's clearly still making money. His Starlink, he was charging Russia for that. That's part of the U.S. aid information that came out. Elon Musk still wants money. So the idea that he can't be bought, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. In fact, we just indicted an Indian billionaire here in America. So even a billionaire can be bought. This is the whole argument about President Trump. Well, he's going to be a great president because he can't be bought. He got his own money. He didn't take a salary. No, Elon Musk came along and showed he can be bought. So I don't buy that just because Elon Musk has all the money in the world, he doesn't want more. I mean, Jeff Bezos, who is second wealthiest in this country. How many Amazon employees are going on strike over the Thanksgiving holiday saying he doesn't pay them enough? He wants more money. So yeah, I don't ever believe that if having enough money made it so that you were happy and you didn't want more, they would have stopped earning money years ago. These guys are worth, triple digit billions. They clearly want more money. There is no end to it. They want all the money in the world if they can get it. Looking in the comments, and if Elon can be taught, Trump can be pimped. Possible. I'm not arguing with that. Let's try Den Coward. I'm having trouble with the box bringing up guests. No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot, says Mark Twain. Depends on what your definition of an idiot is, too. Den Cal, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, so 4 weeks in, you think Kamala Harris would have been moving this fast?
Moving this fast as far as what? I mean, it's so much stuff going on. Like, she would have been moving fast to get her agenda through, but she wouldn't have, equating fast with being effective is just wrong. Like, just because he's doing a bunch of stuff doesn't mean it's better for the American people. And that's what people seem to be equating with. Look at all of this stuff he's doing. And the majority of the stuff, we know it's illegal. It's going through the court systems. But just because he did it.
Well, wait a minute. You're right. He's done some things that are illegal and they're in the court system. But I do think most of us feel like with the Supreme Court, that stuff's going to ultimately get through.
But that still doesn't make it not illegal. It's like we blowing past that part. Like, it's just nothing. Like, yeah, he doing some illegal stuff. We know it's illegal, but the Supreme Court might say it's not illegal.
So that makes it not illegal. Like I don't understand that.
But that is true. That is exactly how it works. If the Supreme Court says what he did is not illegal, it is not illegal from that point on.
Right, but that would be a change of the definition as we know it then. If we know that birthright citizenship is literally word for word in the Constitution, and then they come through and just say, oh, well, that's not what it means, that doesn't mean, like, we know why they're doing it because of their fear of, or, dedication to him. It's not because that's really not the law.
No, but that's what will happen. I mean, most likely, maybe they may stop one or two. Like, okay, he cut off federal funding. That was deemed to be unconstitutional. Because I see in the comments somebody asked, what is illegal? Cutting off federal funding was deemed to be unconstitutional. When they say unconstitutional, that means it's illegal. They also said that birthright citizenship is unconstitutional, meaning that is illegal. Some of this stuff may not get through, but I do believe some of these things, they're going to, like birthright citizenship, Clarence Thomas, Judge Alito, man, I think they're going to.
Yeah, that's two of them. Judge Roberts has got his work cut out for him. Because he, all of these times he done came out and said how people are, people are, saying bad stuff about the courts and all of this stuff. And, and then J.D. Vance, and they basically come out and say, well, the courts can't tell the president what to do, and the chief justice ain't said a word.
Not at all, and that's what I said.
Not a word.
The loyalty.
Somebody criticizes the court, talking about them catering to Trump. Now he want to come out and he want to, give a big speech about how the courts are, how they're unbiased and they only go by the, by the letter of the rule of the Constitution. And it's really just disgusting, and I find it hard to believe that. And I hate to even say his name because it's like he's getting clout off of it. But for MAGA Reacts to say MAGA is in the middle, and everybody else is far right and far left.
He did say that.
Is this the Twilight Zone?
He did say that. Yeah.
He believes the vast majority of the people in this country wanted Trump to name an unelected billionaire with all of these conflicts of interest to go in and tell us, and he gets to tell us what's fraud, what's waste, like what gives him, like, I don't care how rich he is. How does he get to, what makes him qualified to decide what's fraud and what's not? Is it just the stuff that he don't like?
Well, in regards to your shot that MAGA React suggested that Trump is in the middle, I think that I can understand where, in defense of him, I'll tell you this. I think that because Trump plays to whoever can help his career, it can lead you to think he's in the middle. Because if, let's say, for instance, if Trump thinks that he can get somewhere by pandering to a large contingent of blacks or LGBT or Muslims, he will do that. He is not closed off to doing that. So he looks like he's in the middle because he'll work with everybody. If, like, for instance, if it benefits him, he'll work with any group of people. And like I always say, even racism is not a deal breaker. If a large contingent of supremacists indicate that they'll vote for him, he'll work with them too. So he looks like he's in the middle because he'll work with everybody.
Right, but what is looking like you in the middle if we have a track record and we can see now that all of that stuff he pandered to those groups of people is now coming up to be not true, then how can anybody say he's in the middle?
Because once he got in there, another group that did not like what you stood for was larger or made bigger donations, or they're speaking up now. So he's now on that side. He's going to go where the value is.
Well, I mean, he went, he romanticized certain groups of people into thinking that he was for them.
Yeah.
But now all of his actions show that he's not for them.
And some of them are just stuck, by the decision to be down with him and to feel like they won something, but they didn't. They didn't. Like Maggie X talking about, he told us he was gonna downsize. Yes, downsize the government. You go in, like you said, you have audits, you do efficiency reports, you gather data and information, you let people go by attrition, by not refilling jobs. You don't come in and just say all 2.3 million people, everybody just can go home and chill out for 8 months.
Yeah, I think the whole sledgehammer approach is historic, the way he took it. And by the way, it sounds like that's exactly what Elon Musk did to Twitter as well, as just came in there with an axe. Now, in the comments, I wanted to respond, because this is where we're talking about. Official Lambs in the comments says, in regards to Trump, he says, he is the chief executive officer. He hasn't done anything illegal. Democrats are just complaining to complain. Hasn't done anything illegal at all.
Well, I just asked him, did Joe Biden do anything illegal?
Suddenly lights will come on.
I'm just going to apply the same logic to everybody.
Yeah.
They can't be all of a sudden, because it's somebody that they favor. Now none of the rules apply. We want to say
well, he's saying that. For instance, he says that state one illegal order that Trump signed, and I answered this earlier. Anytime the courts rule against Trump and they say what you're doing is unconstitutional, that's the term for illegal. If they say what you're doing goes against just like if a cop violates your constitutional rights, that's what they're doing is illegal. I mean, he's been he had one judge say, I've been on the bench for 40 years, and I've never seen somebody do something that is so clearly unconstitutional. That judge is telling the Trump administration what you're doing is illegal. You just don't hear the word illegal, so I guess they don't make the connection.
Right. Well, it's the same. Like you can ask some MAGA people, and you can say, well, Trump lies a lot, and they'll tell you, name one thing he's ever lied about. Like, how can you even have a conversation with somebody like that? That's why MAGA reacts talking about he would debate me. I couldn't debate him because I can't, because he's saying stuff that's not based in reality.
I do get a lot of Trump supporters who have said that, though. You're right. Like, name something he's lied about. Like, you really think this guy's 100% honest? Like, is there any politician that meets that qualification? I have had people tell me that, too. Just like you said, like, name something he's lied about. Like, you really don't think he's ever lied about anything, huh? Like, he got 4 wives, and he ain't lied about nothing.
Like, and each wife has caught him cheating.
Right. Yeah, that's... I don't have an answer for that, but I have had several guests say that they've never heard him tell a lie at all. And I'm like...
And one thing I want to bring to people's attention, why they giving Elon Musk this clean slate, and he's just this great rich guy who just wants to make America great again. First of all, he has no allegiance to this country.
He has
no allegiance to this country. He's a South African, and I understand his family is of some type of German descent. That's why he's all involved in German politics and trying to tell the people, who to vote for, and to, and to ignore. It's kind of like it's kind of like telling the people or telling like the Jewish people to like get over the Holocaust. Like, y'all should be talking. That happened so long ago. Nobody would ever say that to Jewish people, because what happened to them was so awful.
Elon Musk did. He told him that.
I know, but I'm saying, like, in America, we would never say, like,
right.
They shouldn't talk about that. Now, what happened to them was truly awful, and it's not about comparative awfulness, but what happened to black people was over 400 years.
Yeah.
And to just say we should just get over it, we're gonna take all references of accomplishments of black people out of any conversation. We're gonna make this all a merit-based country, while at the same time giving somebody a job who spent a few years in the military and say that they should be in charge of the whole Department of Defense is insane.
Yeah, you're talking about Hegseth. Yeah, Hegseth is he would be if he was black, he would be a DEI hire.
Yeah, he is a DEI hire.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even say, I understand the connotation, what it means, but I'm going to use it in its proper form. He is literally a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Him, the other guy who is on all of these podcasts talking about he had a enemies list and all of that stuff, and then when he got in his damn confirmation hearing saying, well, I can't recall if I said that, I don't remember. Like you literally on this.
Is that Patel you're talking about? Patel?
Yeah, Patel. You're going into a job talking about how all of the upper management, you're just gonna get rid of them because everybody is Dems, which I don't understand, because the vast majority of the people in those jobs, those high-ranking jobs, are usually more Republican or conservative-leaning people.
Yeah, and I know that among the federal government, the CIA, and all these organizations, and even the Department of Education, there's a lot of MAGA remorse there, because all of them folks ain't liberal. The same thing with the USAID, all of them folks are not liberal. They definitely are firing MAGA right and left. All of them folks are not liberal.
And to say that if I'm a lawyer working for the Department of the Department of Justice, and my boss comes into my office and lays a file on my table and said, I want you to look into these crimes, and you do it to the best of your ability. Now this guy comes in and says he just gonna fire me because I was doing my job. They think that's okay?
Yeah, I get their point is that Biden weaponized the Department of Justice and you need to get the corrupt people out. But I agree with you that some of these prosecutors don't get to choose who is on the other side of the table. They're told this is what's on your docket. This is the case you're going to be dealing with coming up. And they just have to deal with it. Just like the police is just dispatched. They don't get to pick what house they're going to. And to fire somebody for doing their job in regards to a case where they had no choice in the matter. All of a sudden, Trump comes along, anybody that touched the January 6th prosecutions, you need to go. Like, these people were just doing their jobs. I mean, yeah, some of them are MAGA. Some of them prosecutors, the law and order party, they were riding with MAGA right and left until they lost their jobs. He's definitely firing MAGA.
And I know you probably get tons of people sending you stuff, but I sent you an article, a video about the farmers, because what people don't understand is all of that USAID, all of those materials and all of that food that we send around the world comes from American farmers. So when they stop that, those farmers are now sitting watching their crops rot in the fields because they're not sending the food out. And the guy that was in charge, Auditor General, Inspector General for USAID, wrote a report saying, hey, we got all of these people are losing, these farmers are losing, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of produce and stuff. And they fired him because he wrote the report.
Yeah, and what's crazy is we know the farming community is overwhelmingly right. Rural America overwhelmingly leans right. So when you're fucking these farmers over, them are not liberals. Them farmers are leaning right. I mean, those are MAGA. A lot of them you go in rural America and some of our farming counties, all of that stuff's leaning right. So yeah, I mean, there's some voter remorse.
The video was them interviewing all of these farmers, saying that they regret their vote and that they were on the verge of losing their farms and all that stuff. That's what the video was about the farmers.
I'm about to go seek it out. I was actually on when you sent it to me, but I was driving. I saw your name popped up. I was loading some content. I saw it, so I have to check it out. I do got to move it on, but yeah, like I said, you're hurting farmers. You're hurting MAGA.
It's the last quick thing about Elon Musk that people may not know is that he has set a May 10th deadline because he wants to buy the Open AI. He wants to buy that AI company. And he wants to buy it for almost $100 billion in all cash. And now he's requested access to that company's records and a letter of intent that he plans on buying it. Now, if anybody knows anything about AI, it gets more powerful by the more information
Right.
and data you
It's like a blob. It's literally absorbing and growing.
right. And what does he have access to right now? The most information ever in the history of the world as far as finances. He's got our health records when he's messing with the Department of Treasury because they pay for Medicare and Medicaid. He's got all of our socials. I mean, this has got everything. He's got our.
He's about to be the king of AI. He's gonna be the king of AI.
Yeah, and if they think that he's just in there trying to find fraud and is not collecting that information, they don't understand AI.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
And in regards to what he said, to me that resonated a lot is he talked about Elon Musk does not have allegiance to America. Now, he was born in South Africa. He became a citizen of Canada, and now he is a citizen of the United States. What the allegiance thing hits home because he literally could fuck America up and leave. I mean, he could literally screw America up pretty bad and just leave. So that's where the no allegiance thing comes in. And I do believe that if a left winger was doing what Elon Musk is doing and had citizenship from another country like that, the right would probably see it in a different way. Remember when we thought Obama was from Kenya? We didn't want him being in charge because he wasn't born in America, even though he was clearly an American citizen. Well, he wasn't born here though. Now all of a sudden this guy isn't born here and it seems to be okay. So looking in the comments, Democrats are the reason farmers lose money. The people have spoken. We want Trump, says Thurston. You're right. The people have spoken. They clearly want Trump. 53% approval rating, highest, even higher than he was in his first term. The people want Trump. But when you say the reason farmers are losing, you say Democrats are the reason farmers are losing. Democrats are not in power. Democrats, it's going to be the tariffs and getting rid of immigrants is what's going to hurt the farmers. And Democrats are not doing either one of those. Democrats are not in power. The damage the Democrats done goes away once the Democrats are no longer in power. Trump has promised he was going to fix all that stuff on day one. So you only get to criticize the economy and put it in lockstep with the Democrats for a very short period of time because Trump promised to fix it so damn quick. You can't be still talking about how the economy sucks because of Biden 6 months or a year from now when Trump promised to fix all this shit on day one. So he kind of removed his ability to try to tie it to the last administration because he promised to fix it so quick. So if you bring it up, the counter is obviously going to be, well, why did he promise he could fix it so fast? Looking at the comments, also the economy was already crashing when Trump left after his first 4 years. And I have heard that. Which agency hired me, says Branson. The one that doesn't pay me shit. That's the one that hired me. The one that doesn't pay me shit. Tap the screen. I haven't asked you guys to do that. We should have been way higher on the likes. Very low. Tap the screen. Help get the lights up. Help your boy out with a good minute of tapping the screen. If all you folks would do that, we can get the likes up to about 50,000. Helps out the algorithm. You already know what I say. We bring in more MAGA. This is indeed a MAGA-friendly program. Despite some of the topics you hear may be critical of MAGA, but sometimes we can be on the opposite side. We criticize the left and right here. So that's how it works. I got to go to bed. Good night, Forrest Whitaker. Good night. You have a good night too. It's impossible to do anything in one day. If he said that, you shouldn't take it literally. Roger 21, if it's impossible to do anything on day one, and you said if he said it, we shouldn't take it literally, then if he said it, he's lying. If what you're saying is true, then that means he said something that is either he is ignorant and doesn't know he can't do it on day one, or he intentionally lied to the American people in hopes of getting reelected. One or the other. Because he used the phrase on day one a lot. He clearly stated he could end in fact, he promised to end the Ukraine-Russian war before even becoming president. He said, I could do it in 24 hours even before entering the Oval Office. I used to play the clip on here because MAGA wouldn't believe he said it. But he said he could do that. So you can't blame people for holding the president accountable for what he actually said. I don't like when he says something and people say, well, you're an idiot if you believe that. But he's not an idiot for saying it, huh? Now, I took a little criticism from one of my next caller. Okay, I got you on Instagram. What is the name there? Official
Psalms, yeah, official Psalms.
Official Sam's. Okay, what am I getting wrong?
No, it depends. I've criticized you on so many things.
Okay.
So it depends on.
Let's go down the list. Give me the first one. We'll keep going. Give me what you got.
Based on everything you've spoken about, you are correct in some way. You're correct. You are wrong in some ways too. What I see mostly is Democrats actually always play on semantics, language. They like to change the language to make it fit what they are pushing. It's cool because they're effective with it. Somebody talked about the Democrats being in sync. They have this hive mind. They can be super wrong and still push for it.
I'm real curious. Hold on. But I'll let you continue. But I'm curious. Where's the accent from?
I'm Nigerian.
Nigerian. So you're a Nigerian. You're MAGA. Am I correct?
Well, I say I'm MAGA. I just don't like the Democrats. Their politics is crazy.
Were you allowed to vote? Did you vote? Did you vote?
Yeah, I did.
You did vote.
I did. I just see Trump as the most sensible option.
Okay. All right. So you're saying the Democrats changed the language to fit a narrative. Is that what you said?
It's not. Everybody's pushing a narrative. I can't deny the fact.
Okay.
That's how you win an election. But the truth is, they like changing the language, changing the information to fit what they are pushing. Okay, for example, now they're talking about something being illegal. Who can state if something is illegal if it has not been presented in court already?
It has been presented.
No, it hasn't. It's just a judge, one of those liberal judges, came out and said this thing is against.
No, the judge that said I've been on the bench 40 years and I've never seen somebody present something so unconstitutional said that while he was ruling against Trump. It was presented in court. That was part of his ruling that he said that.
It's like you are presenting a lawsuit now to somebody. So we've not actually know whether the person is against the lawsuit or is going to win or lose that lawsuit. It's still an accusation. It's not a verdict. So until it's a verdict, before we can say it is illegal or it's not illegal. So that's the language I'm still talking about. Now all the news network are always moving like a full unit, and they'll keep mentioning illegal. I mean, what is illegal about it if they've not passed the right verdict on the issue?
And you see, I think where you and I have a disagreement. If they rule that what you're doing is unconstitutional, that means it is illegal.
It is constitutional because another judge too has come out to state why it is constitutional. It's constitutional because the president is the chief executive, is the chief officer of the executive branch.
Yes.
There are 3 arms of government. There's the legislature, there's the judiciary as well, and there's the there's the executive branch.
Yeah.
The legislature, that's where the Congress falls under, and there's the judiciary, that's where the judges fall under. So those 3 have their own role of power. That's where they bring about separation of power. Everybody has their power to play. Can the court tell a general how to conduct the war?
Well, based on what you're saying, you make it sound like it's impossible for the president to do anything illegal.
No, don't get me wrong. That's not what I meant. And it's possible for the president to do something wrong. But for you to now put it, you will not say what he's doing. You are making it sound like he doesn't have the power to control the executive. That is the power initially. That is what the people vote for him, to control and manage the full government itself. But the separation of power now comes in that the president cannot go into Congress and force a bill that the people in Congress have not passed. The power is not extend to that part. You understand? It's not over.
Let me ask you something. How long have you been living in America? I'm just curious.
Like 5 years, on and off.
you've been here 5 years on and off, and you I think you might not really understand how the U.S. government works.
I do. I understand every single thing.
I don't know. What I'm hearing seems to say otherwise. I'll leave it at that. But what else did I get wrong? You and I are not going to agree on this. What else did I get wrong, though?
You've talked about USAID. Now you've taken the conversation from why they are tackling USAID to start with. Yes, they are facing one of the deepest scam first. USAID, that arm of the government is where the bureaucracy is. That's where the main bureaucracy is. There's nothing aid about USAID. USAID is United States Agency for International Development. It's not like aid per se, like the way they just use the word aid to fool people that don't understand what the meaning is. USAID has more budget. Do
you think it was a good thing to get rid of USAID or to take it apart?
That is an intelligence arm. That is the sense behind it.
You know, it's weird you would say that. It's weird you would say that because I'm pretty sure that your home country of Nigeria was benefiting from USA. You're hurting literally your own people by saying that.
Which home? Even the people of Africa that people are sending money to, do you think the people benefit from the money? Or is those people interfacing the people and the USAID
themselves? I think they benefit from the HIV treatments and stuff. Yeah, they benefit.
Now that's you pointing 1% in 100% of scam.
1% could be millions of people.
Now they can take the one, like just like what Rubio said, the new Secretary of State said, they can pass those responsibilities. It must not be from USAID. The state itself, Marco Rubio himself said his office will handle that aspect. It must not be from USAID. The people in charge of USAID, they were going against the presidential order. Somebody signed an executive order for, okay, pause all aid, let them go through. It's just an audit. Pause all aid, but they went behind President Back, disobeyed his law, and started doing what they were still doing. They said they are not answerable to the government. Johnny Ernst is one of the...
Let me ask you something. Now, you said you've been living in America for 5 years off and on, right?
Yes, I have, but what does it matter?
Hold on. How did you get the right to vote that quick?
I'm a citizen.
Then you've been living here. How did you become a citizen that quick?
This is democracy now. People want to start doing. You want to start doing. Focus on what we're talking about. It's not my personal. I've stayed in America like straight 5 years, but I've been off and on, just like I told you initially. I did not mean that I'm here for just 5 years. No, I've been off and on. That's what I said.
You think that Trump would favor people being able to become a citizen like you did that quick from Nigeria?
Do you know that I was born in America? I did not state it. I don't want to state too much about myself. That's why I kept it like that.
Okay, all right. I'll leave it at that. I'll go ahead and move it on, but I'm just, some of the things you're saying is just a tad bit shocking, but I do appreciate you coming on, man. I do got to move it on, though.
I don't understand what you mean is shocking.
Yeah, you shocked me.
American politics affects the whole world.
All right.
Look at when the Democrats were in power. The world was in serious gloom. Anything could happen. They were pushing for war. Why were they pushing for war?
You're gonna bring up you're trying to say the Democrats are warmongers. Have you heard of Iraq?
That was the switch. That was the switch. Somebody MAGA report was talking about. The rhinos have always been the war people.
Oh, so George Bush was a rhino.
Yes, now those are the war people. They like war because do you think I'm supporting just Republican?
All right, okay. I gotta go. Appreciate it, man. I didn't mind talking to him. I gotta admit, and it doesn't matter that I don't agree with him. He can come on the program anytime. But I will say that I just dropped my damn car. I couldn't understand the accent. His accent was a little bit difficult to understand, but he's welcome back on the program. I just couldn't quite get that. That was Bush, not MAGA. Yeah, I don't look the same folks that support Trump and are calling Bush a rhino are the ones that had him elected. Liberals didn't put Bush in there. If you're MAGA and you're over 40, chances are you were part of the people who got Bush elected. A high chance of it. He didn't get elected by liberals for 2 terms. So all of a sudden now you want to point out that he's a rhino after you put him in power for 8 years? Yeah, okay. Like Trump is talking about, Trump even said that the Iraq war was the dumbest mistake in U.S. history. As if he was hanging around voting for John Kerry and Al Gore. He voted I'm pretty sure Trump probably voted for Bush too. So you don't get to call him a rhino after you're the one that gave him all the power he had. If you'd have left it up to the liberals, you would have had Al Gore and then possibly John Kerry. So you voted him in. And now you want to point out the fallacies of him. MAGA ain't shit, says Will G. Only they will buy Trump's crap. They love Trump. They love Trump's crap. I'll leave it at that. MAGA loves Trump. When people say that Trump is not a successful businessman, I often bring up the value of Trump merch. No politician in American history has sold more merch than Trump. I mean, how many voters did he get? 70 some odd million voters voted for Trump. He's been in 3 different elections now. I mean, 2016, 2020, and now 2024. The MAGA hat was popular throughout. So the MAGA hat came around about 2015. And the MAGA hat is probably more popular today than it ever was. When you think about how many MAGA hats have been purchased, just the hats alone, I'm not talking about the shirts, the flags, the bumper stickers, all the other bullshit, just the hats alone. Now, he doesn't make money from every MAGA hat, but he makes a lot of money from enough of them. That business alone has got to be easily worth tens of millions of dollars. When you think about how many Trump supporters wear MAGA hats, I would probably say probably at least a third of Trump voters got at least one hat. At least a third of the voters probably own a MAGA hat. If you go to a rally, you probably own multiple pieces of Trump merchandise. That's a successful business if I've ever heard of one. The $800 million Mar-a-Lago beach property, $400 million Trump Duro. Well, like I said, I think he's a successful businessman. I'm not going to take that away from him. Do you sell merch? No, I do not, Edward. I've been asked that before. I might need to do that. Help support the channel. I don't really want to come and sell folks things, but when you're running 4 cameras and things like that, it does cost a little bit of money to put the show on. Otherwise, I would just talk to you guys on TikTok and take down YouTube, take down Instagram and all of that. But some folks watch on those other platforms. So it is what it is. What does it say? Told you his lion ass didn't vote. When does citizenship take only 5 years? Most people wait 10 years. Well, he admitted, though, I think this says Dwight Dorsey, he admitted that he was actually born in America. So it sounds like he was born here, maybe went back over there for a while. He admitted there was something, he didn't want to put all his business out there. Because he gave me enough that I started breaking down that some of this shit don't make sense. And the only way he could make it make sense is to start admitting, well, I'm not telling you everything. And I see in the comments, Aaron Morgan says dual citizenship. Can you have Nigerian and American citizenship simultaneously? I don't know. But some countries don't allow you to have dual citizenship. That's why I'm asking. Birthright citizenship, baby, didn't count. I don't know if he was an anchor baby. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Isn't that a song? I think it's 10% of something is better than nothing at all. Isn't that a song like that? Continuing on with the program, though, for you few folks that have tapped the screen, and I put the emphasis on few, we should have been at about 50,000 likes by now. Some lazy thumbs in here. Unethical, says Aaron. I was too young to vote for Bush, then votes for Obama 8 and 12. Well, I'm not talking about you specifically, MAGA. I'm simply saying that people are saying that George W. Bush is a rhino. And I'm telling you, those are the people that voted George W. Bush in. Yeah, if you're 35 years old, maybe you didn't vote for George W. Bush back in the year 2000. But if you're in my age category or older and you are MAGA, you probably voted for Bush. I mean, when you think about the principles of the Republican Party, pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-police up to January 6th. I no longer see the Republican Party as pro-police after that shit, but they were pro-law enforcement. They claim to be. So the main principles of the Republican Party, they are in line with what George W. Bush was running on. Pro-Christianity. So if you voted for Trump, all the evangelicals that gave Trump a large amount of support, the evangelicals voted for George W. Bush. They're not going to vote for Al Gore or John Kerry. So yeah, you guys put him in office and now you're calling him a rhino. Now you're pointing out useless wars. Remember when the Dixie Chicks spoke out against the Iraq War and the Republican Party canceled them? So yeah, you guys were the ones that were part of all of that shit. The liberals didn't cancel these people. The liberals were the ones that were telling you then that the war was ridiculous. Remember Cindy Sheehan lost her son in the Iraq War, was constantly protesting it, and all over right-wing media, you guys were mocking her and talking about how she was but what was the other one? Jane Fonda or whatever. It was another one too like that. You guys were bashing all of those people. I was watching Fox News back in the day when France did not want to participate in the coalition of the willing, as you guys called it, and Bill O'Reilly was saying, let's boycott France, and you guys were calling French fries freedom fries because you didn't want to attach them to France anymore. You didn't want to call French fries anymore because you didn't like the French, so you started calling them freedom fries. You guys were boycotting people that were not in favor of that war. So now all of a sudden, the same people that started the war, they're now rhinos now, huh? All right. I was there. I remember it all. So I'm just simply saying it's crazy because I was there. I remember it all. Trump is the guy the world needed. Damn. He's here to save us. And I'm blessed. I'm hoping laws get passed for third and fourth terms for president. I pray Trump gets elected 2 more times. We need him more than ever, says Big Meech, Larry Hoover. I think that's crazy, by the way, but there's a lot of people that agree with you, which is why I dispel anybody who tries to say that it's liberal fear-mongering when they say it's the end of democracy or Trump might run a second or third term. Simply put, MAGA has made it clear they would agree with it. This is the same reason why I believe there's likely to be a national abortion ban. MAGA is not going to resist that. If they put up legislation for a national abortion ban, unless Trump is going to get steam, and there's enough Republicans for it to pass, and there it goes. I think there's a real good chance of a national abortion ban. Just like they're getting Bibles in school and all this other shit. But I think there's a real good chance of that actually happening. Just like the possibility of Trump having a third or fourth term. I think there's a chance of that happening because the loyalty to Trump is so great. I do believe, and this is where you can disagree with me, and that's fine, but I do believe the Republican Party has a greater loyalty to Trump than the actual laws of the land, meaning the Constitution. If Trump wants to do something that makes you choose between allowing Trump to do what he wants to do or upholding the Constitution, I do believe most of the MAGA in Washington will follow Trump. They will allow him to violate the Constitution. So you can do most of the stuff I'm saying. He just needs to want to do it. And I do believe he wants to do some of that stuff. I actually do. In January 6th, as Aaron says, it's a testimony. Yeah, I think January 6th is a perfect example. where they followed Trump, even though these are the same folks that have bitched about, let's say, African Americans not complying at police stops and meeting their demise. Some of the same folks who found it outrageous that African Americans would not cooperate with a police officer and then have the nerve to complain when something bad happened to them for not cooperating with a police officer, all of a sudden found that Ashley Babbitt was not justified. The same folks flipped completely like that, even though she was doing everything that was non-compliant as well. Now all of a sudden, well, she didn't have a gun. He should have knew that. She was a little woman. He should have knew that. None of that stuff mattered when you're taking people out of cars and shooting people in their sleep like Breonna Taylor and all of that. Didn't matter. They didn't comply. They deserved what was coming to them. But this guy's supposed to be able to see her in a crowd of hundreds of people and know that she's unarmed and she's just one person by herself, which is crazy because we know everybody was going to come through the window behind her and let her go. So I think that the law and order part to me disappeared as of January 6th, once they did that. That's not new, Tim. Just ask the Native Americans. Yeah, if you can find one with the way they've been done. I hope Trump is not even around in 2028. Damn. New Yorkers. One person said they pray to God Trump gets 2 more terms. New Yorkers says, I hope Trump is not even around in 2028. Yikes. Oh my God. Dude's forehead. I guess he's talking about the way I look or something. Now we'll leave that alone. DJ Frank, wow, you're okay with criticizing. If that's what you want to spend your time doing, go ahead. It's a political show, but if you'd rather troll, shout out to you in the comments. I think the birthright citizenship will go to the Supreme Court, and I don't think it will be changed under the jurisdiction there seems to me it should go to the states, but I don't know. Well, I mean, if it's unconstitutional, giving the states the right to break the law to me doesn't make it any better. If the Constitution said the 14th Amendment says that if you're born here, you're entitled to citizenship. Giving it to the states, giving the states the right to break that. So what happens all of a sudden? Let's say, for instance, you're born in Illinois to an illegal immigrant, and being a liberal state, they recognize the 14th Amendment in birthright citizenship. But Alabama doesn't. Does that mean if the kid goes on a family reunion or something and goes and visits family in Alabama, if he gets pulled over for a speeding ticket, they can deport him? Because they don't recognize this. How does that work? This is how you can break up a country. This is why I'm not a huge fan of states' rights. It's because some states do things completely different than other states. And this is how this started with African Americans, where some states treated us completely different. Didn't even want to treat us as a human being compared to other states. So it could make it so that you don't feel comfortable navigating around the country. Same thing with gun owners. Gun owners have dealt with this for years, where you could not take your firearm in certain states for fear of it being all of a sudden against the law. Well, imagine if you can't take your kid there. Imagine if all of a sudden you as a citizen suddenly becomes illegal in certain areas. Think about how bad that would be. You thought not being able to carry a loaded pew-pew was bad. Now all of a sudden you can't take your kids there. So that's why I'm not a fan of states' rights, is because the states do all sorts of weird shit if you give them the right. I mean, obviously same-sex marriage would not be legal in some states. I mean, some states would give a woman the right to choose. Others would put her to death for doing it. And then, of course, we're talking about the educational system, getting rid of the Department of Education, where now you're going to have kids taught all kinds of crazy shit depending on where they come from. I think that if you're going to have us all as one country, a United States, there should be some unity to it. You start letting the states do whatever they want, it's going to become a mess. And some states are not even going to work with the other. This is how you can start to literally break up the nation. If they're going to be like that, I don't want to be part of it. You can start having that kind of shit. Because that's what happened with slavery. If they're going to abolish slavery, then I don't even want to be part of the country no more. I think we should be able to own humans. We're making money off of this shit. So I don't know where that's going to go. Looking in the comments, Will G. That's why I said people only voted for Trump off spite. There is validity to that from the simple point of I think a lot of folks don't care about the economy, price of eggs, or anything. If they can beat the liberals, that's enough to denote it as a victory. Those are people that voted for spite. I don't care if he doesn't actually meet most of his promises. As long as he is sticking it to the liberals, keeping those LGBTQ people out of my face, that's a win in me. There are some people who voted for Trump simply for spite based on what I just stated. Elon wants to make America like South Africa during apartheid. So you are suggesting that Elon Musk is a racist, basically. That's what that sounds like. Well, some folks say when he gave a salute, it meant his heart goes out to him. I had a black guy on the show yesterday, talked about the Honeymooners. Well, Ralph Norton and the Honeymooners, he would talk about sending Alice to the moon, bang, zoom to the moon, and throw up the same salute as Elon. He brought that up. So Elon Musk had been sitting around watching the Honeymooners, I guess, before he went on stage. Anyhow, I do appreciate the likes. They're very small tonight. Didn't ask you guys to tap the screen as much. I do got to get up in the morning for my day job. You know how the show is ran. We don't block, censor, or ban anyone. If you like this type of dialogue, I'll ask again that you subscribe on YouTube channel, YouTube Vertical. Feel free to follow on TikTok or Instagram. Nevertheless, I will catch you folks tomorrow night. See you then. Thank you on my YouTube Vertical. Catch y'all tomorrow as well. I'm out. Got to catch my ass some sleep before work tomorrow.